Hello, my name is Matt Nahat, and this is my YouTube channel, Zephyr's Gambit. Today, I am honored to be DM for a group of adventurers in the setting of Eberron. This hangout is recorded, not aiming to entertain an audience, but as a record to look back on. Having said that, hopefully everyone watching will still get something out of the experience. We are normal adult people. We make mistakes, we and and stumble over descriptions and decisions, and we will swear. This campaign's story and quests are original content and are set in the Eberron universe. This is not canon, but tries to remain lore-friendly as much as possible. Having said all that, let's get the game started. Last time we had some real-life stuff, and only a couple of people were able to come along, and they went to Shan to say their final farewells to our poor NPC Rin, who had passed away. So they went to his funeral and his wake and did that sort of stuff. And then they hopped on the guild airship, which they managed to obtain, and headed back to Shan, to Trollenport rather. And then they decided, you know what? Brugg's got an axe to find, and so they decided to keep on going on this airship to try and grab the axe. They went to this dungeon, they went down this brass pipe and fought some stuff. They got paralyzed and were having a bit of a hard time. They finally won the battle and legged it up back to the ship, but it wasn't back to the ship. Instead, they were teleported somehow weirdly to this room, and there was like doors on either side, and it was like an inn, and then they were teleported weirdly again to like this forest glade and all this stuff. And then they realized, I think we might be dreaming. And after a while, they did wake up, and they found themselves being woken up. The crew of the airship that was just now docking in Trollenport and hadn't actually made its way to the dungeon as they had thought it had. And so that is where we find ourselves. It is the morning of Eberron's version of Tuesday, and there are 26 days left until the Wizard's Tower disappears for another decade and goes back to its home plane of Lamania. And so our group getting together and realizing that there's limited time left, and with Shard reporting back that things in Trollenport really aren't good. Do you want to quickly summarize, Shard, what you've found out while you've been a part of the city guard, please? Just really quickly.
Well, I can tell you this much. Treating the people who are sick doesn't help. Treating them actually seems to make them worse. They're better off being left alone. And yeah, they've imprisoned a whole lot of people, and they seem to, not being human or mortal, I'm not sure I understand, but maybe they're running a temperature or something, but because they seem kind of warm sometimes. There have been a whole bunch of tries at cures from wizards and alchemists, and nothing has helped. Like I said, it seems to make people worse instead of better.
Excellent. Thanks for that. And so it is that Shard reports this and says, look, we probably really need to stop this at its source. And we know as a group, especially from the God's message to Don, that the source is coming from the Wizard's Tower itself. Something in there is causing what's going on in this place. And so we pack up our goods. Is there anything really quickly? Actually, what I'll do right now is just get you guys to introduce yourselves, your characters, and just maybe a sentence or two about any final preparations that you make as we head directly towards the Wizard's Tower. So, Shard, you've gone. So, Don, do you want to quickly do that for us? And I'll name each person as we go.
Oh my. Don is one of the master race of half-orcs, and a druid of that, one at earth and nature. And while he's trepidatious about the thought of invading the sanctum of arcane and aberration, he sees the need of the people and cannot refuse such a call. Preparations, Dawn was born ready, and whatever he wasn't born with, nature's provided since.
All right, awesome, that's great. Lana.
Righto, so I'm playing Lana May, and she's a human rogue, and she, as for preparations, we'll go to the deck of the ship just to get some fresh air after that crazy dream that she had. But no, she's tagged along with her friends, family, and so she can kind of just be with people. So,
Lovely. Silas. Who is muted?
Can I go last? I have a question for you real quick, please.
Of course.
And I'm going to shoot it to you. I'm almost done. Yeah, thanks.
Okay. Tina. Or should I say Kari?
Okay. Carrie has been very busy, but super duper on the down low. She has been hanging with the monasteries quite frequently, trying to get an understanding of her sorcery, what it all means to have her bindings lifted off from her demon overlords. She has actually, instead of trying to reach out and contact the Fair family, she has disassociated herself completely from them. Kind of been kind of hermity, kind of sticking to herself and her immediate party members.
No worries. That's awesome. Thank you for that. And Brugg?
Brugg is half-orc barbarian. Not sure what on speak of with great race. Brugg let that slide. Brugg also always prepared. Brugg have axe. Figure that about as much needed.
Awesome. And to answer Corey's question publicly, Zara Phoenix, Silas's mother, has when she told him about the dragon shard that is supposedly in the wizard's tower, she said that the group should go and retrieve it, and not only that, but they should take with them the very intrepid Adela Madani, who is Silas's promised and who has the mark of divination. And apparently this mark is quite rare, and people generally charge a lot of money to be hired out with this mark, but she will charge nothing. Indeed, she will come just to secure what Silas needs to find, and so she's going to be coming along as well, but purely as the diviner in the situation. Okay, and Silas, you're up. And you're muted.
Yes, and I'm muted. All right, so yeah, so knowing that, he's been trying to figure out how he's gonna have both of his ladies in the same area at the same time for a bit, and a ton of freaking out. He stayed at Mom's house, so he's leaving from Mom's house, headed back to where the group is staying, and yeah, it's
lovely. All right, so we'll get stuck right into the action if nobody minds, because we've got a limited time frame. We'll either do the Wizard's Tower in this one session, or we'll continue it in the second session. Either way, it'll be fine. But let's get started. So, the tangled, damp swampland, filled with tropical trees, gives way to an overgrown clearing into a bridge-filled quagmire. In its center, a cobblestone and stone brick pyramid rises from the earth, covered in moss and vines. The structure is some 60 feet wide, 60 feet long, and seems to ascend to approximately 60 feet high. The double doors are accentuated by large cylindrical pillars, and pieces of parchment seem to be plastered all over the doors. This is the scene that you see before you as you step out of the jungle that you've just been traversing for about a couple of hours. You left at dawn. It is now about 11 a.m. And this is the sight that you see before you. How do you want to keep going?
Lana's just chilling out at some overlook, just kind of looking beyond. Looks dreary.
Yeah, we're just pushing along.
All right, so this pyramid, you get closer and closer, it gets larger and larger, and the parchment that is stuck on these double doors gets clearer and clearer, and it's getting to the stage where you can begin to see that it's some sort of pictographs or drawings or something. You're not quite close enough to see exactly what they are, but it looks like there's drawings or something on these sheets of paper that are plastered all over these double doors.
Well, I doubt they're advertisements for a local play.
You're probably right there, as it took about 6 hours to get here.
Yeah. Are the doors at the very base of the pyramid, or are they at the top?
Yeah, so the doors are at the base, and they're kind of in the middle of the 60 feet, sort of. They're right in the middle, and there's sort of a jutting out like roof bit that sort of comes out, and then the pillars, and so it's really clear that the double doors are there.
Well, the direct route seems best to me. Perhaps someone has been here before and has a note that can direct us.
All right, so as you approach the door,
like, please knock.
as you approach the door, a big booming announcer voice comes out from invisible speakers, and it says, "Welcome to the Wizard's Tower that holds great and fearsome power. Beware the riddles and the rhymes. They can be tricky at the best of times. When you are ready, recite the wizard's name. After making this tower, it's rumored he went insane. Once spoken, you will be hastened inside, where all your strength and wit shall be tried." And the voice sort of fades off, and you can clearly see now that the pieces of parchment that have been plastered all over the double doors have crayon drawings all over them. Each one is a different crayon drawing in different colors. There's brown and blue and yellow and green bits of crayon, and they each depict a different scene if you want to look closer.
Hey, Brugg, I think you can read this.
I was just gonna be like, "Wow, this guy can't draw."
Yeah.
Brugg shrugs and goes up just to check out what the parchments are.
All right, so if you've got a pen and paper and you want to record this, that's fine. I can post it, although, in the chat for future reference, and I will do that. But here we go. Here's the list. A half-orc with an ornate and massive axe, riding on a giant wolf on the top of a hill, looking down on a burning village. A young girl stands by his side, holding his hand. Her eyes are covered with crisscrossing linnets. That's the first one. The second one is 3 beautiful young women who stand in the center of what seems to be a druid's grove. There are trees and bushes, hands intertwined in some form of ritual. A strong, glowing power is growing from the center of the group. The next one is a half-orc that's looking into a pond where the head of an elk is being reflected. A female gnoll is standing by him carrying a glass container with a plant inside. The next one is of a heroic-looking man. He is standing alongside a ship captain and a nobleman. A man with a pike opens a gate, and the streets beyond are lined with cheering people throwing rose petals on the ground. An attractive woman has her heroic man's arm and is winking as if toward the artist of the picture. The next one is a girl wearing a white gown who stands next to a tall, handsome man in black tails. He is smiling down at her and has his arms around her, rubbing her back. The next one is a dancing girl. She looks to be elven and is twirling ribbons over a stiff, staring man and woman, while a crowd of meaningless faces applaud. An older elven man is off to the side and he is smiling. Next, there is a pale-skinned tiefling who is staring into a white-hot fire, holding a silver ring in her hands, about to drop it into the flame. The next one is of a man who is actually a spirit. Excuse me. He is being tortured by golden whip-wielding angels. The next one is of a machine man wielding twin swords who is looking over a small cave-like room containing various other machine men in various stages of construction. A stalwart graying dwarf, an intelligent-looking gnome, and a kind-looking man are standing by a large glowing crystal that seems to be operating the construction device. The second to last one is a golden-haired woman who is crying over a beer. Inside, a man whose face has been twisted beyond recognition lies dead. And finally, the last one is a wizard who's lying on the ground with an arcane aura around him. He has a hovering figure over both shoulders. One is a white phoenix and the other is a black shadow. The black shadow looks bigger and stronger than the white phoenix. And those are the scenes that you see depicted in crayon on these parchment pieces all across these double doors of the wizard's tower.
They're all over, or they're like one each?
One each.
Brugg takes the one that's him on the wolf with the girl Kristoff linens and takes it off the door.
This one looks kind of like you.
Brugg rolls it up and kind of stuffs it away, because I assume the rest of the party hasn't really come forward to look at this, since everyone was like, you should go look, Brugg.
I told you to read it.
Which, well, what I assume is it might be trapped. He can eat the spell. So Brugg will take that off, roll it up, and kind of just stuff it in his shirt and hide it.
I'm just copy-pasting all of these scenes into Roll20. If you sort of got lost with the amount of different pictures, they're all going to be here. So just doing that now.
Crazy. Thank you, sir.
No worries. So does anyone have any questions or comments or lines of action that they would like to pursue?
I have a question. What is Curry at this point? What's going on with her?
What is she, or where is she?
Where is she? I mean, like, what's going on with her? What's going on with
Ari, what's going on with you? Where are you?
Whatever she became.
Carrie has actually taken to wearing very, very heavy robes, heavy cowls covering her face. She actually wears like a veil across her face now. She does everything she can to cover every inch of her body. She even has her wings wrapped. She has her wings like bound at her under a cape.
Okay.
I know, but she walks up and she'll take what she'll assume is her parchment very carefully off the door. The same as
Yeah, the
Brugg.
style of these crayon drawings seems very familiar to someone in the party who should be very aware that they seem familiar.
Hey, Lana, don't you know somebody?
Don, you shut your mouth. You don't know her.
I thought you talked about her, though.
Don't
Maybe
know.
that was out of character, though.
Like, yeah, out of character, definitely. I don't think she's like Silas would be probably the other one who would maybe recognize the style, but yeah, once Lana got close enough, she'd probably be like, "What the hell?" Like,
Brugg opens the door.
hey, she'll take
Actually,
one
the door,
that looks like her.
the door does not open. If you listen carefully to the voice, it actually said that you need to speak the wizard's name, at which point it intimated that you would be teleported into the tower.
Hold on, I got this.
It's good because I don't know the wizard's name. Makes me think of some story about a girl with a dog. Follow the yellow road or something.
I have posted the brief history.
It's Lawrence Pennyfather. No, it's the other dude. That's Shepe. No. Which one was it? Hold on. I have names written here.
In the description of this session on Facebook, there's
so many
the
notes.
history of it.
Too many notes.
Well, while we're trying to remember this wizard's name, Shard is going to take out a very fine bottle of wine that has a note wrapped around it. He'll tear the note off and put it away.
Okay.
And then he will walk over to Silas with the bottle of wine extended.
Oh, I hope you're ready for.
I'm sorry, but I might think like even Lana's gonna be like, "Why are we having a tea party now or something?" Like,
Brugg snaps his fingers as he remembers because I found it in my notes, and says, "Selexosi the backward."
Excellent. All right. I'll quickly resolve Silas and Shard for a second, and then you'll be all teleported into the room. Okay. So let's quickly
Part of
just.
me liked the idea of Brugg just being like disappearing, and the party just been like, "Ah!"
I can see like Brugg thinking, looking through notes as what Shard and Silas goes down like at the very end of whatever that they do. Oh! Shouts it, and then we're teleported.
All right, so I'm changing your scene, and now you should all be looking at on the screen what this room looks to be. So I'll describe it in a second, but quickly before we do, Shard and Silas. So Silas, how are you responding to Shard at this point?
I think I missed slightly what he said.
He got out a bottle of wine and he tore off a note that was on it, and then he's approached you. I'm not sure what he's saying. Shard, what do you say?
I'm holding out the bottle of wine and just saying, no hard feelings for a confrontation we had a while back.
You mean with the... Yeah, buddy, never.
All right.
And just so you know, it's a very fine bottle of wine. And he says, look, I know sometimes I give you a hard time, but it's only because I like you. If I didn't like you, I wouldn't give you a hard time.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
It makes a ton of sense, buddy. But, what? You're like that big brother I never wanted.
I can accept that. And I know this may have not been the time, but I just wanted to give you this and say this before we go in here and maybe die.
What about dying?
Yeah.
And poof, we're inside someplace.
What was that?
And I hand the bottle to Adela and says, "That's our victory." there right here.
Adela will accept it and she'll say, "Oh, thank you. This looks like a really fun bottle of wine." And then you phase into a 25-foot square room. A faded red carpet is underfoot and seems to be in the shape of a cross. A statue of some form of animal sits diagonally opposite. The carpet ends at a door to the north and to the west, but also to the south wall, where a white stone archway stands. The archway is filled with smaller white bricks, and 3 fish-shaped indents rest above it. The first indent is filled with what looks to be a white herring. Teleport residue is clearly visible, but fading from the eastern wall that it seems you have stepped through to get here. 2 other doors can be seen, but the carpet doesn't lead to them. Finally, coat racks stand in the southeastern corner of the room, each with several wet weather coats hanging from them. The entirety of the room is bathed in an unnatural but very pure and clear white light.
Wait, did one of you do that? Says Don in reference to the teleportation into the room.
I think that was the wizard.
You remember that Brugg spoke a name, Salixosi the Backward, and that's the point at which you started to fade and which you faded into this room. You want to take one of the raincoats?
Yep.
It's in, I'll type it again in the Roll20 chat, but it's in the Hangout chat.
Oh, that's what I was looking at, the Roll20 chat, sorry.
Okay, so Brugg is taking one of the raincoats. Brugg, as you reach out to grab this raincoat, you notice that they are light and designed to be weather resistant. Many of the coat pockets seem to be noticeably bulging. Some are more bulky than others, but all are currently obscuring what is inside them.
Brugg takes the bulkiest, because, you know, Brugg.
Sure thing.
Don,
so
check out that fish.
Yep, there is one. Let me just. So there is one coat for each of you and 3 extra coats on top.
Why
Okay.
are we taking coats?
What were you looking at? Sorry, Don.
Don's gonna look at the indentations for the fish and the white herring.
All right, so you look at them. So each of them are shaped like a fish, and they're like inbuilt into the wall. They're above the archway, and there's only 3 of them. The first one, which is on the left, has a white herring that is like stuck into it. And the other 2 are just indentations. So it looks like maybe other fish might be put there to do something with this wall.
Can I remove the white herring?
You may.
Or I mean, I attempt to. Would be a better way to say that.
Yes, you may if you wish, yes.
And he grabs the white herring and he pulls.
Okay, so it'll just pop relatively easy out of the indentation, and you've got a white herring in your hand.
Is the indentation that had the white herring any different than the other 2?
No, it is not.
Okay. He'll experimentally try placing the white herring in the other 2 indentations, one after the other.
Sure. Each time you'll put it in and it'll just sort of stick there where you've placed it, and then you'll be able to easily remove it. Each time you put it in a different indentation, nothing really happens.
Maybe if we had more fish, perhaps ones of other colors. Donald pocket
right.
the white herring for now.
Now, is this a solid room we're in?
So the area that I've highlighted you in is just like
Yeah.
the area that I drug you into. The room itself is actually over here. So it starts in this square here and goes 25 feet. So basically there, there, there. Okay? This is the room. I've just put you out there because, you know, I needed somewhere to put you before you got into the room. So you're actually technically in the room. I'll drag you all in there. Okay?
Which wall were the fish against?
This one.
Oh, okay. I'm a fan. Let's do it.
So anyone close to the statue will see that the form becomes clearer the closer that you get to it. It looks to be a bald eagle. There is an incomplete inscription on the statue's base. The inscription reads, dedicated to my beloved familiar, Ma. I will copy and paste that into chat.
Ma. That seems a little
Give
weird.
it to my beloved familiar me. That's a fair statement.
Ma? Do you think it's broken off, Shard? Assuming that Shard's over by the statue, according to his token.
Broken off, or somebody scratched it off, or didn't finish it. Ma.
Maybe it
It
was
certainly
like-
does not look like anything else has been written there. It's not like it's been rubbed off. It's like just those two letters. And
Maybe that was their name. Ma.
Mama. Ma.
What's this wizard
Not cool,
name
though.
again?
What's what?
Selexosi. Selexosi the Backward is his name.
Sosi the Backward.
Yes.
Oh.
M? Mom? Mame? Amma? Ma.
That's what he's referred to in the literature that you've seen.
Let's see. Dedicated to my
Isosceles.
beloved familiar. Yeah.
Michael.
So Brugg,
Math.
as you take the coat, the bigger, bulkier coat, you hear like a jingling inside one of the pockets.
Yeah, but Brugg goes through all the pockets.
Okay, so you find it.
Stuff it.
You find a key ring with a whole lot of different keys that are there, all different sizes and shapes. And in addition, because you're like fishing around in the pockets and stuff and going through them each. In addition, you find a couple of very miniature bones. They're only extremely, extremely small. Like not even the size of your hand, like much, much smaller than your hand. So it's like picking up beads, you know, with just your fingertips, these little tiny bones. And the bones that you have picked up or found, there's what looks to be a skull or a head, and a hand, and what looks to be a foot as well. And these bones, like I said, are extremely tiny.
I don't
But
think he knew what they meant when they said it would cost an arm and a leg.
They are certainly not herring bones. They are humanoid, if anything, but they are very, 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 very small.
Don would like to see if he can place the fish in such a way with the bird that it looks like the bird's eating the herring, the white one. Like will it fit? He'll attempt to put it into the bird's mouth or in its claws, if possible.
Yeah, you try, but the statue is like the bird's mouth is open, and if you like put the herring in, it'll sort of be on a weird angle and will sort of sit there, albeit a little bit weird, and nothing really happens.
Well, it was a thought. I'll take the herring back.
What about his feet?
Sorry.
Sorry, I
Can we
didn't
put
catch
it
that.
so it looks like it's gonna hold the fish? So we look at we could put it so it looks like it's gonna hold the fish.
Like it'll hold it, like in its claws. The claws are kind of like a part of the pillar that it's built upon, so they're
Okay.
like stuck to it.
Okay. Yeah.
No, we haven't tried any of the doors. No. So there's 4 doors in total. 2 of the doors. There's one to the north. There's one to the which is where the carpet's leading, and there's one to the west, which is where the carpet's leading, and there's 2 others that the carpet doesn't lead to.
Lau goes up to the north door with the red carpet. Just kind of knocks, tries the doorknob.
Okay, you knock, and the doorknob turns, and you're able to open it.
Cool. So kind of poke her
Okay.
head in just to be like, what's beyond this door number 1?
As you open the door, the first thing that you notice are the long, pillowed, silken couches to your left and right. In the far northwestern corner is an unlit hearth with a worn mahogany mantle. A metal bucket with a fire poker sits to the side. Several crystal glass vials sit atop the mantle. Beside it, covering the north wall, seems to be a large map of this complex. In the northeastern corner of the room, a simple stone font stands. A word is etched around the bowl, which is holding sparkling water. The word says Gesundheit. A single square-inch box floats in the bowl's center. Again, this room is illuminated by the same pure white light as in the foyer.
I'll kind of step aside and look at this. Like, this room looks cozy. And she'll wait for someone else to go in first.
All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you all access to a handout. So it's in your journal. It'll be in your journal in a second once I give you access. It is called Map of Tower, funnily enough. All players, so save changes. So all of you now should have access to the handout Map of Tower, and this is the map that is on that northern wall that you can see. In addition to being able to see that map, there is a parchment that's pinned, like it's a little note-sized parchment that's pinned to the map right at the bottom left-hand corner. And the parchment reads, "Every good deed goes repaid." Does everyone see the handout of the map?
Yes, I'm looking at it.
Hopefully everyone sees the handout of the map.
Can
I want
have
to know who
Oliver go in the
Mr.
room?
Mittens is.
Who Mr. What is?
What?
Mr. Mittens.
He sounds adorable. Let's go play.
Well, Mr. Mittens is in the treasure vault. His playpen, the washroom, and the treasure vault are all in one room, it looks like. Or in one
Yep.
area, anyway.
That's certainly what the map seems to be telling you.
So that would mean out in the
Hmm.
where this would probably be the exit.
I love it.
Okay, so you were just in the foyer, right? Now there is a note that says exit, right? Now where it's pointing to is beyond the archway that Don just examined. So you guys haven't found that yet. There's just an archway there. There's not another little room like is what is implied in this map.
Huh. Now, did we open the door? Up here?
You opened the north door.
Yeah.
I'll click on it in a second. You open this door, and I will just reveal it. There's nothing in here on the actual drawing, but everything that I described is there.
Yeah. All right. Huh.
So there's like couches here and over here. There's a mantle that's up here in the thing, and where Lana is pretty much there is where the map is. Now you can take the map off the wall and carry it along with you if you wish.
How big is it?
It's about it's about 3 foot by 3 foot.
Rip.
Brugg, you want to carry this?
Well, I'll totally just take it off and roll it up.
It's actually on canvas, so it can be easily folded and rolled or whatever without harming it.
Yeah, Shard's going to pull it down and fold it up.
Cool. So now you have a map of the town.
Not really.
Or I'll fold it so the section we're in is the uppermost at the moment.
No, so okay, this is the ground floor. So what it looks like is that this is the third one down. There's 2 floors above this and 2 floors below this.
Yeah. No, I'm saying I'll fold the paper so that the floor we were on is the one that.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah, it's showing.
Right. Sorry, I misunderstood, but that's fine. Absolutely. Yeah.
Well, we're in the welcoming room.
Sure are.
Looks like it. Is there a door over here then?
Nope. So there's a door down here, which is accessed through the foyer, and then there's a door over here and a door over here, which are both accessed by the foyer.
I want to open this door.
That door is locked.
I want to try my thief tools on it.
Okay. Go ahead, roll your check.
That's a dexterity check, right?
Mm-hmm. And if you've got your double proficiency with that, then you get that as well. Depending on what you chose as a rogue.
I do have it. So what should I use?
So just roll your check and add another 3 to it.
Yeah, another
manual.
3. Okay. And then just hit save.
Save.
Yeah,
oh
save.
no. Just roll a dex check, and then just manual. Then we'll just go that number plus 3.
Okay, that number plus 3.
Yeah. So it's 19. Okay. So 19. So what you do is you place your thieves tools in, and you have a bit of a play, and you realize very quickly that these are extremely ornate locks, and not only that, they have a magical component as well. Unfortunately, you are unable to pick these particular locks. However, you have discerned that they have a magical component as well as a key. You think that the magical component probably restricts the opening of it. to a certain key.
Interesting.
You examine the vials. Okay. They are each labeled. The labels on the vials read as follows. Vial of Angel's Tears. Vial of Dragon Breath. Vial of Demon Blood. And Vial of Poison.
So by looking at the map, Matt, I would have to assume that it's the summoning room that I'm in front of.
All right, so let me just quickly have a look at the map for you, okay, so yeah, so it's pointing to this room, right? Saying this is the welcome room and the summoning room. At the moment, it seems like this is a welcome room because, you know, there's couches. There's nothing here to show it as a summoning room at all.
I know.
Like there's no sigils, there's no arcane marks, nothing like that.
Okay. Okay, this is a wizard who's backwards and crazy we're dealing with. So I'm guessing somehow or other he can like switch rooms, or this room can become another room or something like that.
I think you might have
from everything that you've read and heard, Selexosi was pretty mad and pretty crazily magical.
All right, well.
Lana walks out of the room and walks in backwards.
Okay, you walk in backwards.
Same room still.
Same room still.
She's
Good
just
idea, though. I'll give you inspiration. I'll give you inspiration for that.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Awesome. Oh, yeah,
All right.
she's got to try like...
There's a door down here.
Yeah, that door's locked.
All right. It looks like the same magical type thing.
Yes. Yeah, because you got really high on your check, you can pretty much tell that any locked door has the same magical thing. Not every door will be locked, but any locked door will have this same magical factor.
All right. What about the?
So there's one door that you haven't checked yet.
Right here.
That's an archway. There's no door there.
No door. Where's the last door then, sir?
The last door is just here.
Yeah. Yes. Please.
So if you go and have a look at that, that door is actually unlocked. You'll open it and you'll see a set of stairs that goes downwards. Just like that.
All right, I'm going to send Kala.
Alrighty. Calva goes down the stairs. You see through her eyes and you see a closed door. If she tries to open it, she can. Takes her a couple of tries, but she can open it. And if you would like, I can describe what she sees.
Please.
She sees what seems to be some sort of horrible garden. It's like rotted and stuff. I can describe it better when all of you guys go down there, or if all of you guys go down there. But just from her look, it looks to be some sort of garden, but it looks like overgrown and rotted.
Oh no.
Did all of the rain jackets have stuff in the pockets, or is it just the one?
Yes. Yeah, if you look through the rest of the pockets, you find more tiny bones. The bones that you find, let's see, you find pairs of toes, feet, ankles, legs, knees, thighs, hands, arms, and shoulders. Then you find a single hip, a single back, a single neck, and a single head. So they're the tiny bones that you have.
She's actually gonna go through all the pockets collecting the bones, and she's gonna go to each person's like bones, and then once she's collected one, she's gonna start configuring them to make people on the floor, like putting the bones where they, the best of her knowledge, anyways.
Yeah, so you basically make a humanoid figure with it, and when it's all placed together, it's just smaller than an inch high. Like, it is basically an inch high, albeit except for like 1 mil. So it's an inch high little man. You can tell that it's a male humanoid figure.
Wait, what?
She's put all the bones together, right, to resemble a male human that's only about an inch tall.
1 inch tall? Okay.
Yep.
Well, what is that, Carrie? Carrie?
Tina, you're muted.
Oh, I'm over here speaking. Yes, she didn't ignore him. She will look over immediately and say yes.
What is your little friend?
He is small, she'll say, looking down at it. And she'll wave. She'll like, can I see everybody's pictures? And she'll like hold her hand up to him.
See everyone's pictures.
Off the door. Assuming everybody took a picture off the door before they went in.
Yeah, like you have access to them.
Okay. She would just ask for them to look at them in character.
Lana would have like taken all of the ones that no one else took, just because like, why did she bring these? What the hey? Anyways.
Yeah, Shard didn't take his. He didn't even look.
Did Carrie recognize that Lana seemed to recognize the artwork?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, you know Lana pretty well, and
like her hood would shift slightly side to side as she would motion Alana. How do you attach these pieces, or?
Oh, a friend of mine. She draws exactly like this, and so it just seems really weird that a door would be plastered with them. Let alone that being you and that being Brugg and this one being me and whoever this. Oh, huh. If she was, I bet she drew me and you. She'd say to Silas.
Do the pictures mean anything to anyone?
maybe.
Clearly.
No, I'm asking. My character's asking out loud to everybody. I'm interacting with the party now.
Clearly, Jessie thinks that Silas and I are getting married. She doesn't know the news yet, though.
It's actually Brugg.
Oh, you go starting that.
We've been over this, okay?
We've been over this. Brugg is the
Brugg is way too much man for her.
Okay, let's try and speed us along. So, is there anything else you guys want to do? How are you proceeding?
In the summoning room, didn't you say there was something like sort of a bowl or decanter of water with like a cube floating in it?
Yes, there is a font, okay, that's in the corner of the room, and I will read out the description once more for you. All right, so the font, there's a word that is etched around the bowl that is inside of the font. And the word that's etched around the bowl says Gesundheit, and there is sparkling water inside of the bowl. And then in the middle of the bowl, inside of the sparkling water, a square inch box is floating in the middle of the water. It is exactly an inch on every side.
This is probably not easy for Shard to do because he doesn't quite have the right body parts, but he's going to sneeze.
All right.
I can imagine
So
is you just achoo.
you the water ripples. The water
Achoo.
ripples, but nothing happens. And because you thought of a very cool thing, just like Lana did before, I give you inspiration for that. If you've got inspiration and I've given you another one, you've got 2.
Oh, sweet.
Okay.
Oh, sweet. I open extra X then next to my first one.
The little box will sort of bob in the water as it sort of gets disturbed a little bit. Other than that, nothing happens.
I just kind of like, why'd you say? Did you just say chew?
Yes. Why don't you try it? You're human.
Gotta speak yourself.
The thing reads Gesundheit. Since this guy's backwards and crazy, maybe if one of us sneezes, it'll do something.
Carrie will yell out, "Excuse," or "Bless you," when he says "Bless you." When he says Gesundheit.
Okay, when you say "bless you," you catch out of the corner of your eye some of the ash that is like lining the floor of the hearth move very so slightly.
Say it again louder. This time looking at the thing that moved before.
Again, the ash kind of moves and wafts, shifting away from a certain spot in the hearth.
Bless you.
Okay.
Keeps on doing the same thing. And
Bless
you
you.
notice
Brugg goes over to the hearth to see where this opening that's plainly blowing the ash is.
so there's now
More people keep
you
yelling, "Bless
see
you."
that the ash has moved enough now that there's a distinctly shaped hole that's right in the center of the hearth. And as you look at the hole and you look at the fire poker, you notice that the fire poker's end has exactly the same shape as the hole that is in the center of the hearth.
Yeah,
Didn't we
Silas
take-
look up the poker. Silas will make the poker do its poking things.
Okay, you place the poker in the hole and you hear a rumbling sound and the whole fireplace spins. And so
With
on the
me
other
on it?
side, there's a blank wall, but on the blank wall, you see instructions. It looks like instructions to a reanimation ritual. It has a little box that is detailed. It has a little figure of a man, and it has the font with the bowl, and it has a vial that says vial of angel's tears. And it gives instructions to place the man inside of the box, to sprinkle him with angel's tears, to close the box and immerse him in the sparkling water.
Right.
Carrie, it's
I
your
think we
little
found the
man.
summoning room, guys.
Yeah.
Carrie would carefully scoop up her new best friend and carry his tiny little body over to the thing and carefully put him into the box, trying to be as respectful as possible.
Do we have angel tears? Please tell me we have angel tears.
She would point over to the glittering water. You've never done this before, have you? She'd look over at Silas curiously.
Yeah.
She would just smile at him, mocking his mageness.
Not sober.
Not sober.
Yeah.
So describe how, if and how you are going to complete this ritual.
Wow. She's going to get the little dude, walk over. She's going to reach in and take the box out to look for like an opening while she's holding the bones in one hand.
It's like a ring box, so it'll just like pop open with a little bit of exertion.
Okay, she'll pop it open. She'll carefully put the bones inside and put before she closes it though, it says to sprinkle angel's tears on it.
says
Right?
to sprinkle angel's tears. That's correct.
Yeah.
I'll dip her fingers into the water and just kind of into the box and then close it.
Okay, and then you'll immerse it in the water.
Yes.
Nothing happens.
She just look at it.
You
Donald,
can make an intelligence.
white herring in there as well.
Sorry, Don.
Don will assist by placing the white herring into the water as well.
Awesome. You see that the herring's mouth begins to move.
I knew it. Probably.
Nailed it.
I knew it. What does it say?
Saying.
Oh my gosh. Did you prepare to talk with animals?
No, I didn't. I didn't speak with animals. I didn't think I needed it. Actually, let me check. Maybe I did.
So I'll give you
10 seconds, Matt, to get ready to come up.
I'll give you an intelligence save, Carrie, as nothing happens. So can you roll an intelligence save? Nine. Okay, so you don't understand why it's not working. Perhaps you're missing something, but you don't understand what.
Don forgot how to speak with the animals for the time being.
Okay.
Did you copy this the quote down already?
Which
Or
quote?
could she the instructions?
I'll summarize them quickly again, but no, we haven't copied them down. But pretty much it says to get the box, put the man in the box, sprinkle holy water or the water of angel's tears onto the bones, close the lid and immerse the box into the water. And Carrie believes that she's done that, but she hasn't.
She'll look at it. She'll take a step back. She's like, "What am I missing?"
Lana might be able to come to the rescue here. You're muted, by the way.
Yep. I'm like, talk. Look, Lana being near the room, this not really being a place to just I'm just gonna take these things. Like, why are you guys taking the coats? I don't get this. And so, looking at the vials, like, well, this is an interesting shard. And so, if someone's like, "We're gonna get angel tears," she's like, "Wait, what? Here's a vial of angel tears. Why do we need it?" But didn't they come back into the? Never mind.
So Lana's just like, here's a vial of angel's tears.
Carrie's gonna be like,
okay, I don't. This isn't really our Okay, I'm not really against taking things because we want them and such, but
"This is a puzzle, Lana. Figure it out." And she'll just hold her hand out to her.
She hands it over. We're just taking stuff and
Lana,
yeah.
we're here to destroy the tower. I think stealing things from it's the least of our worries.
Oh, we're here to get something for Silas. I don't know what was going.
The tower's responsible for the plague, so we probably have to destroy it to stop the plague.
Oh. Shoot! She goes back in the room. She'll take the other vials. She'll probably start grabbing whatever she wants. I'm going to take all of this.
Fine. Pushing stuff over. Fine.
Now that she's on the same page with us.
Thank you, Carrie.
I mean, I guess it could be Silas or something. Silas?
So do you want to complete the ritual as described with the new vial of angel's tears instead?
I'm distracted.
Yes, please.
Okay, so you complete the ritual as described. You immerse it in the water, and then you hear a creaking sound, and the box will bob to the surface, and it will open of its own accord. And a little skeleton man will pop out, and he'll be like, he'll say, well, g'day, mate. Steve here, how are you?
Carrie's in love, wants to marry him.
Says, I see you're in a spot of bother. I'll be sure to fix it, mate. She'll be right. You know what I am? I'm a skeleton. You know what you need? You need a key. I'm a skeleton key. So, yeah.
Carrie will carefully pick up the
Your
skeleton key. I love him.
My name's Steve, all right? It's not Jack.
Meet you,
Steve.
Steve. I'm Carrie, and this is the gang.
Hi, gang.
So she takes
yeah.
Steve, like, can you open this door for me? And she'd to the door that's locked.
Steve, not Jack.
Steve, not
climbs
Jack.
into the little keyhole, and he's like, yeah, just be a minute, right? And he, like, rearranges his limbs. the
Please
lock
stand by.
clicks. And then he jumps out, and he's like, oh, Steve's got it. Yeah, I just did it, all right?
She goes to open the door.
Which
Loving-
door?
The one he just unlocked.
You'll need to give me more information. So the north one?
Yes, sorry.
All right.
Yeah, go on this one.
So you open the door and you see blank space. Now, blank space is just like black. It's not just darkness, but it's pure blank space. It's like a vacuum, and there's no like depth or height or dimension to it. It's just blank.
Steve, what'd you do to the room? She'll look down to him scoldingly.
He says, oh, it's not my fault.
Well, then why is it like that?
Well, he made it that way, didn't he? Don't go blaming me.
What? He made it this way. What are we supposed
That's
to
right.
do? That's right.
Says,
Carrie is snickering to herself the whole time. Like, this whole thing is just awesome.
he says, well, my suggestion would be go downstairs and get the key. Then you can go to each of the different pockets and then you'll find what you're looking for, right?
Is his name Jack? Should look down to him.
No, mate. You had to speak his name to get in here.
Oh.
It's
She'll look back at
Salix right? That's his name, Salix. Yeah, they call in the backwards. That's right. It's what he's known as. It's because he's a bit loopy in the head, you know? But my suggestion, just to reiterate, is go down, get the key, then she'll be right, mate.
Let's go downstairs and get the keys, mates.
Yeah, yes.
So you want to descend down to the next level?
Yes.
I'm
Carrie
following.
would like to lead the troop
Anything.
downstairs.
Nab. Can she get this?
She's like, picks up stone. Hey, look.
No, seriously. Is like she'll go over to like the eagle, like this is a really cool eagle, and she'll kind of like push on it. Like, does it move? Is it really, really heavy?
Control loot
The eagle
dungeon.
doesn't move or anything. Like if you press on it or try and manipulate it or whatever. Nothing.
Lana would then look at Brugg, and she'd be like, "Hey, Brugg, do you think we could put this in the hole?"
Bug looks at her very concerned.
If you're brave enough.
I like that.
You don't know what I'm talking.
Brug's been messing with the key ring for like the past 5 minutes. You just like brought him into the conversation with, you think we could put this in a hole?
So like she'd pull
What
out the roll.
conversation starter's that?
All right, so I'm going to reveal to you where you are, okay? You'll have to take the map over to the opposite side of the screen and scroll down a little bit, at which point you'll see where we are, which is just here. All right, so I'll describe the area now that you guys are there. One second.
Is this the lower level? That's the underground garden. Whoa. The hell was that noise?
A toy falling. And me hissing at the cat.
1 second. I've look like I've rearranged my notes somehow. Okay, you descend into a rotten and overgrown underground garden. A slimy stream courses around the garden and brambles grow through many of the tangled bushes. A huge, blackened, bloated tree stands in the garden's center, and it is immediately obvious that it seems to be sucking all of the life from the entire place. Small wooden bridges cross the stream at various locations. It looks like this garden used to be a place of beauty and serenity, but is now full of stench and decay. So there is basically, there's these little bridges that cross the stream, all right, there and here and here, and finally over here. And there, if you were to follow that path, there is another set of stairs that leads down over here, but you have to like follow the path around all of the tangled and rotten things to get to that door over there, okay? So that's what you see.
Could this tree be the source of our plague?
It looks to have sucked the life out of this garden. Perhaps we should destroy it, just in case. I'd like to make a nature check against that tree.
Okay. Roll for
it.
As he runs back to the room to clickety click click click.
Okay. Look, you've heard a lot of the symptoms from Shard, who's had personal experience with the victims of a lot of them, because he's a warforged and he couldn't contract it. And so he is able to tell you a lot of the symptoms. None of them match what this tree is doing to the environment. The environment hasn't been affected by whatever the sickness or plague or disease or whatever the thing affecting humans has done. It's only affected humanoids and not affected the environment. Here, this tree seems to be sucking the very life out of the environment. It is slimy and it is rotten, but there's nothing here to suggest that it's anything to do with the disease. However, this looks like it used to be a very pretty place, and it's probably not a good thing that the tree is sucking all of the life out of it. And being a lover of nature, you would probably have the desire to right this situation. You think if the tree died, that maybe the garden would stand half a chance to grow back, but it's pretty far gone at this point, so you're not sure.
Does the tree seem to be just its nature for this decay and rot, or does it seem to be afflicted by something else?
Seems very unnatural that a tree would do this. It's blackened and it's like bloated. It's like it's sucked all of these things into it, and it's grown worse and worse. Does it have an affliction itself? You're pretty sure that by sucking in all of the goodness that is like corrupted the goodness into bad, and so it's turning bad, and by it turning bad, it keeps on getting worse. It's like a degenerating cycle. But you don't think that it was initially afflicted by evil or disease or whatever. You're not sure what exactly caused it, but you're sure that you think that if you kill it, it'll probably release all of the stuff that's been building up inside of it back into the environment and maybe give the environment half a chance.
Maybe lesser restoration might have an effect on it.
Does this thing look soggy?
Yeah,
Like, does the tree look soggy?
Sorry?
Soggy? Like, does it look soaked? Or does it just look like it's sucked everything into it?
No. The bark looks not as hard as what bark normally looks like. It looks a little bit more liquid, but it doesn't feel or look like it's dripping or anything like that.
Carrie's gonna walk over to it, curl her fist as tight as she can, and she's gonna try to punch her hand into the tree.
Okay, so it's got a little bit of give. It's kind of like rubber. It's kind of like punching rubber. So it's got a little bit of give, but you don't penetrate into it.
I don't penetrate it. Oh, too bad.
So Don will cast Lesser Restoration just to even see if it has any kind of effect.
All right, so you cast Lesser Restoration on it, and you see the spell like coursing into the tree, right? And you see that it's trying to do something, and then you see it just being absorbed into the tree, and the badness underneath you and around you gets worse.
Perhaps this tree is too far gone for even my skills.
She's gonna take her. She's gonna take her sword out, draw her sword, and she's gonna hack it. She's gonna stick it.
It's like the cartoons where you hit something and your sword just rebounds. It's like doesn't actually cut into it. You hit it really hard as you can, and it's just like, and it bends the rubber like bark in, and then it just pops back out again.
So it's like I'm hitting a tire with a stick, basically.
Yeah.
Brugg know how to cure blight.
How about flame?
Brugg nods. Only
Carrie
one way to cure
Carrie will
blight.
jump back. Oh, okay.
Brugg lights his sword and walks up to the tree.
Yeah. All right, so you put flame to it, and the flame begins to catch, and then you hear like this whooshing sound, and the flame just like gets swallowed into the tree, and the condition of the garden continues to get worse. At this point, it's like something is moving in Don's pack. There's something not quite right.
She'll snap at Don's pack. What's in there?
What? Food? Oh goodness, what's moving? I gotta.
As you sort of think about it, you realize that you put the white herring into your pack, and as you go to open it, the fish is like moving around like it's just been caught and is put on a deck of a ship, and it's just like still alive, and it's like flipping around and stuff and trying to get back into the water. That's what this herring is doing.
There's water in here, isn't there? You said there was water in here or no?
Yeah, the
yes,
sludgy
but
river
it's slimy.
thing. Well, I've put it in everything else so far. Don will put the white herring into the sludgy river.
Okay, so it's a little bit harder to see, but you do see that the herring's mouth begins to move again, like it did when you put it in the font upstairs.
Hmm.
And it stops like writhing, and then if you try and pick it up again, it'll just like it'll turn back into its thing, into its normal self, just a white herring, and after a few, like after a minute or so of you holding it, it'll like writhe, and you can make a wisdom check.
I'll do that. So if there's anything Don needs, it's wisdom.
Oh yeah. So you think that its tail is like trying to flip over towards the tree, like as if it's pointing at it, maybe.
Little fish you want in the tree? Can I'll pick, this is ridiculous. I'm gonna pick the white herring back up and try to use it to cut down the tree.
Yes. All right. So you get the herring and you wield it like an axe and you slam it into the tree, and it actually cuts into the tree.
Part of me was hoping that the herring would just explode in your hands.
No, Steven's got the reference. So
I don't even remember what it's from, but I remember it's a reference.
The Monty Python with the Knights of Me.
Okay.
Now, if I recall, the next step is a shrubbery.
But it's you cut into it, and it's kind of like wielding an axe against a really hefty tree. Like, so you've just sort of chopped into it with the herring, and it's not really done very much just yet. But you've made some progress.
Well, spit in each hand, rub them together. Let's put some half-orc sweat into this.
All right, so just make a
chopping.
strength check. And for every point you get over 10. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. So you can chop it down pretty damn quick. It would have taken 20 normal chops. You reduce that by 12, so it takes 8 chops to fell this tree. And when you do, you can see all of this goop start to flow out of it and back into the environment. You think it's going to take a good amount of time for it to heal, but the process has begun, and the tree is no longer sucking life out of the environment, and it seems like it'll be righted. It'll just take some time.
Wizards are so weird, Don will say.
Lana snorts.
Says the guy who just cut down that tree with a herring.
With a herring. That's awesome.
There, the good work of nature has been done. Let that be a lesson to the rest of you. What the lesson is, I'm not entirely sure, but it involves
Carrie was about to just ask, like, so what were we being enlightened about? Meditate on it, you'll see.
I'm not entirely sure what the lesson is, Kari, but it involves a herring.
Sounds like a good book we should write sometime.
All right, so what do you guys want to do now?
Nah, Jack, was that the key? She'll look down at her skeleton man.
Nah, mate, it's a tree, right?
Well, it's a herring.
The key's further down, right? It's in the next room.
Oh.
But thanks for killing the tree. I'm sure the garden will come back to life now. It'll be just as beautiful as it once was.
We did good. We did. Where's the... She's going to start looking on for another door.
So...
If Lana heard that, she
the key.
Someone would be like, "Aren't we destroying the tower, though?"
So the key is down in the breeding pit.
I've destroyed one tree bit of it so far.
Yeah, mate, it's down the breeding pit, mate. That's where he
Okay,
keeps
so
it.
what breeds in the breeding pit?
Well, he had plenty of things down there. He's tried, he's a wizard. He makes things, experiments. I'm not sure what's down there right now. I've been asleep for, God knows, I don't even remember. What year is it?
I don't have any idea.
When you tell him what year it is, it's 998. He's like, oh, crikey. That's crazy. I've been here many hundreds of years. Yeah, I wouldn't have a damn clue, mate. Best be prepared though. You never know. Could be dangerous.
You think it's not dangerous, Jenner?
I don't know what it is. Could be the tooth fairy for all I know.
Quick question.
Okay.
Matt, do you want us to, if we're doing conversations while other people are talking, do you want us to type in Roll20 or in Google Hangouts?
I don't mind. I can see that you've got a question there about, do you know what these plants are? Who are you asking?
You or Lana. And I didn't mean to interrupt. I just wanted to know if either was.
No, that's fine. Either or. I've got
No,
both
it's fine.
screens open so I can see both.
Well,
It was supposed to. So, yeah, I want to go around over to this door.
Yep. So you'll open the door. It's unlocked. Excuse me. And it's another descending staircase.
Okay, I found the area to the breeding pit, but is there any more doors around here besides that one?
Not that you've been able to see.
Come again?
But then you haven't explored thoroughly. It's still pretty gross in here. So things are overgrown. You might look under some branches and stuff and see what's there, and it's just like slime and goo.
We can come back and look when we come back upstairs. She'll suggest to the group. We should keep going. And she'll head for the door.
Okay. So I will take us downstairs again. Okay. So grab all of you guys, drag you up a little bit. Oops. This one here. And size. You can rearrange yourselves to wherever you want to be. So just to the north is where I've placed you. Okay, and I'll describe the room. 1 second as I come across that. Thankful to get away from the awful garden, you descend further underground into an even smaller room. This room gives no reprieve to the stench, however. It is much warmer. The air is humid and gross. Shard, you recognize this warmth and grossness. You can see bloated tentacles twitching on the floor, and putrid water from the garden in the above room drips down the glistening walls. As you enter the room, you see a horrific worm-like creature with centipedal feet and poised stinger, bloated, pregnant, oozing pus and who knows what else. It seems to be trying to protect a writhing pile of slimy eggs. And this would be a good time to roll initiative.
Nah. I pass. All right, let's do this. Mhm.
Okay, so let me just see what we've got here. Silas hasn't been added. Was it
18.
18? Yeah,
And the 10 is for
for Calvin.
oh wait, no. Well, that wouldn't make sense. I got it. It's an 8 actually,
8, yeah.
because it would be 2 less. Yeah.
All right. And the creature has got 22.
Holy shit.
Okay, descending order. Sure. All right, so the creature goes first. And I need to.
Any chance Shard could yell something before the fight starts?
He can.
He's going to yell, "Don't touch this thing, it's got the plague or the disease."
All right.
Lana happily remains
So-
back.
I have a sickening feeling I suddenly understand what the disease is.
I think Shard had an inkling earlier as well when I described to him what he had experienced while he was away. So on her turn, she produces a cloud of glittering golden particles in a 30-foot radius. Each creature, other than her and her eggs, needs a Constitution saving throw, please. That's a fail for Mary.
I'm just asking to be sure, is this disease related? Because Shard's immune to disease, that's why I asked.
No, it is not.
Okay.
Okay. The DC is 18. So if you score 18 or higher, you are successful. If you score below 18, you are blinded.
And if we roll a 1?
You're blinded.
Okay, cool.
Like, holy crackers!
You repeat the saving throw at the end of each of your turns. And because you rolled a 1, you'll have disadvantage on that and those repeated saving throws, Brugg.
Got it.
Let me just check my notes here. Okay, so that's what she does on her turn. Then I actually need to, just so that you guys are aware, it'll be Brugg next, and then we are actually in its lair. So it's got a lair action, which happens on initiative 20, which loses ties. So that's what the extra marker in the turn order is for the lair action. Okay, so Brugg, it is your turn. You're blinded. What would you like to do?
Brugg's actually gonna draw his axe and kind of ready to defend himself if attacked. Not gonna. If he goes charging in, he might hit one of the party members.
Yeah. Cool. And you can place yourself anywhere in the room that is obviously not in its square, because you guys sort of came in, so you can be wherever in the room you like. I know there's not very much space because it's a fairly small room, but anywhere you want to be in here or in the stairwell is fine. So it's totally up to you guys. You can drag yourselves to wherever you want to be. Okay. So you're readying an action to defend yourself if attacked. So do you just want to like dodge, or do you want to do something else?
If something swings at me and hits, I'm gonna swing back. Is basically what's happening. Because what is he gonna do?
Readying
Dodge.
action
He can't
to-
see the attack coming.
Yeah, not a problem. That's brilliant. Thank you. One option can end of another creature's turn. So is this where you guys are right now? Can you drag yourselves to wherever you are?
Yep.
Yeah, that's where you want to be? Because right now,
Don wants
3
to
of you
not
are
be
in the
next to
stairwell. So Brugg's in the stairwell, Kerry's
of
in
us
the
had to come up
stairwell, and
last.
Shard's in the stairwell. All right, fair enough.
I don't think this thing would be kind
Cool.
enough to let us all crowd into the room before going, hiss, people.
Yeah. No worries. So it is the Lair's turn. A swarm of tiny offspring crawls from its nest and attacks a creature that they can see, which is only Silas right now. They do 13 points of damage to Silas and then they die. That is the hive action. The lair action. And then we're up to Shard.
Would Silas go before I do? I know we tied, but he's got the higher dexterity.
I can drag him above you. Yep. I mean, you guys can
Okay.
decide. I really don't mind.
He can go.
Okay, Silas then. You've just been hit by these tiny creatures that have like crawled out of their eggs like too soon and like nibbled away at you and then just died.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm fully aware. All right, so we're gonna do this. That's part of an action. Okay. So I'm going to as a bonus action turn on Blade Song.
Sweet.
Because I'm gonna say that I already had my mage armor going. I wouldn't go in here without my mage armor on.
Yeah, of course.
So okay, so that doubles my not doubles. It's gonna be 10 more speed. So I'm able to come over here. Oops. Come on, do what I tell you. All right, so I'm gonna move over to here. Take a swing. Use my booming blade.
All right.
Cantrip. And then pop back out. So
No worries.
we're gonna try it. So let's do that. And I just gotta get my weapons up. There it is. Scimitar. Come on, scimitar. Oh yeah, that hits.
Yes, it does.
I'm sorry. I'll ask him to.
Okay. Let me
All right.
just.
So that turns on that booming blade. Give me just a second. I'll show the spell. I don't think it's gonna move, but it can't hurt to try. Alright, so it gets all that. Oh, it sucks.
So the slashing is in addition.
Yeah, I rolled a 1. That sucks.
On a hit, the target
So if it
suffers
moves-
normal and sheathed in booming energy until the start of your next turn. If it moves, it takes 7 thunder damage and the spell ends.
Right. So
Alright.
on a hit, so now it takes an additional 3.
Yep. So
then on to the 6. So it takes a 9.
yeah, I've got
And
that.
if it moves, it takes 7.
It takes
Okay.
another 7. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So Wonderful. And then, okay, so then I pop back. Oop, I moved the whole damn map. I didn't mean to do that. I pop myself back over to here to where Kelv is. Take a shot with the crossbow real quick. Just 1 second to do that.
Okay, so one thing we need to sort, right, is you've made a standard action, which is your attack.
I did,
You,
yeah,
as a bonus action, did your blade song. So if you want to move back, that'll be an attack of opportunity as you move back. So you've already used your bonus action to do blade song.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna take it today because I want to get, so whatever. Yeah, I'll take it.
All right, so it is going to use its stinger to try and attack you as you withdraw.
Yeah, right.
And so the stinger
Is a beat of 21.
is a 14 to hit because it rolled a 2.
Yeah.
So that misses.
All right, so now I'm gonna shoot at it, and
With your bonus attack.
yeah, ooh,
Extra
nice.
attack.
14 damage.
Do you have an extra attack?
No, with the hand crossbow.
Yeah.
Oops, I didn't mean to hit my javelin. I'm sorry about that. That would have
Isn't
been
your
my hand
hand
crossbow
crossbow
because
another
of my
bonus action
crossbow
there?
expert. Yeah, because of hand cross, hand cross because it's crossbow expert. Whenever I make a action with a one-handed weapon, I can shoot with the hand crossbow as a bonus action.
Yeah, but you've used your bonus action, buddy.
Oh no, as a I didn't mean as a it's not a bonus action. It's just an additional shot. It's hand crossbow expert. I've been doing it the entire time.
Okay. As long as it's not a bonus action.
It's not a bonus action. It's
All right,
just its own action.
so we'll take the roll because
Yeah.
the damage is the same
Okay,
anyway, so
Yeah,
it's
all right, yeah,
another
everything's the
14.
same. Yeah, 14.
No worries.
Okay.
Okay, so that's your turn.
That is.
All right. Shard.
Okay. Shard is going to draw both his long swords and charge down the steps and basically engage this thing.
Sure. Go ahead.
And even though he's blind, he's going to come on. Attacks. Come on. He'll make his 2 regular attacks first.
Okay, it's a miss.
Yeah, that sucks.
Oh, 15 is also a miss, I'm afraid. It has quite thick, sort of scaly skin, and unfortunately that's not
Okay,
quite
then he will take his offhand attack. No.
No, because of the disadvantage from blind.
And I roll at the end of my turn.
That is correct, yes.
Okay.
Just a
which would
straight
be
con
now,
roll?
So
No. You're
nope,
still
I'm
blind.
still blind.
Okay, at the
Okay,
end of your turn,
That's it.
it is going to attempt to make a stinger attack against you. It is a legendary action to do that.
Okay.
Don't die.
Whoa, that'll hit.
Yay.
And the stinger does this much piercing, 13.
Okay.
And you need another con save, please. Again, it's not a disease effect. Okay.
Oh, jeez.
Fail again.
My
Yeah.
best save, and I'm failing every one of them.
Now, you do have an inspiration, so if you want to take that, you can to make it a 21.
I will take the inspiration then.
Okay. It does not paralyze you, but you do feel the poison, the paralyzing poison coursing through your parts because you're a robot or warforged, but you shake it off.
Yeah.
You overcome it at the last second, and you don't get paralyzed. Okay?
Okay.
You still take the damage, the 13. Okay? And
All
then, is that all you wanted to do, Shard? Yeah, that was the end of your turn, so that's all good.
That's it.
Kari, you're up. And you're muted.
I would be.
Yep.
Well, this is a pickle, isn't it?
Yep.
How much water is on the ground?
It's pretty damp. There's also water that's flowing down the walls as well. That's from the river above.
And this thing is sitting on a writhing pile of something?
Eggs. It's currently like popping eggs out.
Okay. She's going to run in, and she's going to shocking grasp the pile of eggs.
Okay then.
No. Very well. Where is it? There it is.
You hit. So what happens?
She runs forward. She runs in. As she's doing this, she doesn't really run in. She's kind of like stomps in, kind of wading through the water. Like electricity kind of like crackles over her entire form. And then she just kind of stands and looms over, like beside Shard as he's getting absolutely wrecked by this thing, and she just like reaches out with a single hand, and just electricity just crackles and bounces off the eggs and does whatever.
So you see the electricity like course into the eggs, right? And then you see the spark travel through the mass, all the way through the mass and up the mass and into the mother who takes the lightning damage instead of the eggs.
Dum dum dum. And I will stand there holding my shield out to it.
You can, and you are right there, so it will also make a stinger attack against you as well.
AC 19.
Not a problem. Let's see what happens.
Oh.
I got you by 1. So you take 8 points of damage, and I need a Constitution saving throw, please.
You got it. Did it roll?
Not yet,
Okay.
but it might be coming. Sometimes it takes a little bit of time. There it is, 13. Okay, unfortunately you fail. Okay.
Oh.
Now, you don't know what the DC is right now, but you could attempt to use your Eberron D6 to add to this. And keep in mind, everyone has those D6s to roll at any point. If you fail and you don't think you failed by much, then you can always use those extra D6s. So if you want to, you can roll an additional D6. You don't have to. I'm just giving you as an option because you don't know what the DC is right now. So you get a 17. Okay. Unfortunately, it's not quite enough. Okay. So you get struck by the stinger and you're like, oh, that wasn't so bad, as you only took 8 points of damage. And then your whole body just seizes up, and you can still think, but you're paralyzed. So you can sort of see, your eyes are still open, so you can sort of see where your eyes are staring towards, which is probably towards the creature at this point. So your eyes are glued there, but your whole body is just completely stiff. But you can absorb, so your paralyzed condition, in this case, it doesn't stop you from absorbing any information from around you. So any information from around you, you absorb, but you can't act. Now.
Can I speak?
No.
Okay.
Like you'll go to open your mouth, and that's the point where you'll sort of freeze. As far as repeated saving throws, I'm looking at that now. It's the same as the other one. So you can repeat the saving throw at the end of each of your turns. So this doesn't count as the end of your turn because it attacked you after the end of your turn. So at the end of your next turn, you can repeat the saving throw to try and succeed again, okay? I keep on saying okay. I shouldn't do that. Let's move on. Calva.
I didn't roll mine, by the by.
So you didn't roll yours?
Yeah, forgot to roll mine.
Okay,
I'll roll one at the beginning and then one at the end next turn.
Sure. Okay. So Calva, I'm guessing you just throw her into aid. I suppose you don't have to, but she can. Silas? Muted. All right, I'll come back to you. Lana.
Yeah, no, I got it. Sorry.
You doing all right, bud?
Yeah,
like you sound a bit out of it.
No, I'm good. I'm right here.
Okay.
So I'm gonna put her on over here on this corner down here.
No worries.
Yay.
She will aid from there. Lana.
Out of the way.
Yep.
Yeah.
Lana, unable to see anything, is grabbing her dagger and just kind of like listening to this chaos going about her, just like, what the hell's going on? She is just going to ready in action to stab whatever approaches her. Hopefully not a companion.
All right.
But I'll make her con save to see if she can see again.
Nope.
She is just like, oh my gosh, please don't. Whatever's going on. I'm like, are you guys okay? I guess I shouldn't really ask that. It sounds bad.
Well, you're not deaf. You can hear. So.
Yes. But knowing the area is small, or at least from what she last saw, and trying to go to behind the group, she still assumes that there's a lot of people in front of her. And so throwing a dagger or firebolt, yeah. So what play is that?
All right, so Don.
Is so do I make the con check at the beginning or the end of my turn?
At the end of your turn.
All right. Ain't nobody got time for that. So Don is going to remove blinded from himself.
Ooh.
What? Wait, what's going on? Ah, my eyes. We're not standing for this.
It's a cool spell.
Oh, that's the situation. It is a cool spell. But that's my action for the turn.
Yeah. You still have a bonus on a walk or anything else. You can maybe you could make a nature check or something, like if you want to see, if you know more about this creature that's.
Why not?
Yep. Cool. That's a good check. All right. So this creature is related, but not exactly the same as a Toscali, which is I guess a cross between a wasp and a worm. They implant things with their eggs. Generally, they're not, Toscalis only really do that on non-humanoids, like they don't generally prey on humanoids, but it looks like this one infects humanoids specifically, and only humanoids specifically. And so someone, perhaps a crazy mad wizard,
If
has
there be one of those nearby.
changed it somehow. And with your check, you believe that what it is injecting and these things, these babies that it's creating and stuff, the way that they're acting is like really strange, like they're pouring out of their eggs too early to attack and stuff. And you think that this is like a new form of lycanthropy. You know that the tower is connected to the plane of Lamania, which is the plane where lycanthropes are. And you think that the wizard has infected this creature with a form of lycanthropy, and that the lycanthropy has mutated, and that what is infecting everyone is a form of lycanthropy. You believe that it's probably related to the time that the wizard's tower is still here. So it's still here for 26 days, you know that. And you think that because lycanthropy is the way it is, it like triggers at a certain point. Usually that's a full moon, but because of what you've seen and what you've heard and what has been told to you, you think that this particular lycanthropy will probably trigger at that point, at which point every single person that's been infected, all the people in the prisons, all those people are going to change into some form of lycanthrope. Probably much worse than a werebear or were-tiger. It's a were version of what this is. Bad.
Oh no. Don decides to give everyone the short version of don't let it lay out eggs in you.
Good luck with that. All right, so that's where we're at. That's what you know. With a 22, it can't be poisoned or charmed. You know this because Toscali are the same. Okay, there we go.
Only had prepared
Pretty much what you know, and that this is obviously her lair. Like this is where she's laying her eggs. This is where she's set up.
All right.
Okay. You also know that lycanthropy and silver don't really mix very well, i.e. silver tends to be pretty effective against lycanthropy. Cool.
Oh yeah, I guess Don really should mention that to everyone else. It's probably a lycanthrope. Use your silver weapons if you have any.
Fortunately, someone does. All right, so that's Don.
Like a fool, I don't have my lycanthrope weapon prepared.
We go to the creature itself. Okay, so at the moment, Kari is paralyzed, and so I am going to attempt to lay some eggs in you, Kari. So I plant an egg into creature. You are neither undead nor a construct, so that is fine. Again, this is why Shard can't be affected, because he's a damn construct. Until the egg hatches are removed. You are poisoned, Kari, or have the poisoned condition, which means you have disadvantage on attacks and checks. But you do not need to eat or drink for as long as this condition remains. But everyone has seen the creature like lift up its tail, and a little like bead, I guess, has dripped from it and like entered into Kari's mouth that's open at this point and like spurted something inside of her. Everyone has seen that. That's the creature's turn.
Gross, Kari. Gross.
Yep.
Everybody
Apologies.
saw it, right?
Apologies to those watching at home, which might be grossed out. I possibly should have said something about that at the start of the session, but you can deal. All right.
I'm
so
grossed out by it. This is like nightmare fuel for me.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
All right. And I just like the reason why I said Brugg wishes he was deaf is because the last thing he saw was a writhing worm grotesque thing on a grotesquer pile of eggs, and then he was blind, and so all he is hearing all of this.
Yeah.
He's just sitting there like, oh god, what's happening?
Yeah. Okay. We don't need
Brugg
to
turns on and say, "Don't let it lay eggs in you." What? What lay eggs?
There we go.
Easy for you to say.
Beautiful.
Boom. Got there with the disadvantage.
Yes.
All right, so Brugg is unblind.
Yeah.
He will immediately charge this thing because
Checks at the end
Kill
of
it.
your turn.
kill it quickly.
So
actually-
he forgot to check at the end of his turn. So this is for the end of his turn. That's what he was just saying.
Yeah, my first turn I did not roll, and so instead of interrupting the action, I decided just to roll in the beginning of
To
mine.
roll now. Yeah. So.
Yep. And it just happened to be lucky. So
Yeah.
we are
So
gonna
yes, you can charge.
go for the 2 swings.
You'll need to end up there though, because you don't have reach. Yes
Ah.
and yes.
Sweet. Boom boom. For the 27 points of damage.
Thank you for adding that up. 27. Cool. Yeah. Do you want to describe what it looks like as you slam your axe into this thing?
Brugg is more concerned that about the rest of the party, so he does not fly into rage just in case he is blinded again, and runs up careful to avoid the rest of the party members near him, and just kind of overhand swings it into its head, as it's not a greatly moving target.
All right. Well, I have
However,
one more
he is
legendary
puffing.
action up my sleeve. Actually, it's had its turn, so I've got 3 more up my sleeve. So it will try and strike out at you.
Of course it will.
with
Body
its
is ready.
stinger with a 28 to hit.
Yep. Is there any question?
No. 10 points of damage, and I need you to make that con save, please.
Do that for you.
Now you're not raging.
Nope. Rage wouldn't have helped
so
anyways.
A 12 doesn't make it.
All right, cool.
So you're paralyzed unless you want to spend resources and try and get it.
I'll let it go.
All right. All right, so paralyzed. That's the end of your turn. We've got the lair action. Bugs will crawl out again. This time they will go towards Shard, and Shard will take, have I got that stored? Yes, I do. Shard will take 10 points of damage from the little creatures that instantly die upon gnawing into you. And that is the lair action. Silas.
All right, I want you to add 14 damage back to the creature because it was that was a bonus action. I'm sorry about that. And
So
because
add
I want to play
14
properly.
to it.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I add 14 to it because I wouldn't have been able to shoot
No
that
worries.
crossbow. Bolt.
Yep.
But now I'm
Thank
gonna
you
shoot
for
2 of
checking.
it at it because it's
Yep.
right there right now.
You can.
No problem. First one has advantage because of
Excellent. Advantage is great.
Yes, sir.
Got a cold
Just
shiver.
gonna get to my. Uh-huh. Yeah, but that's not very good.
No. Between.
That's not very good at all.
That'll
That's
hit.
much better.
Do you want to? Can you sneak attack at this point? Yes, you can sneak attack at this point. Do you want to sneak attack at this point?
Yep, I'm going to right now. Hold on 1 second. Come on screen. There we go. Come on, do what I tell you. Oh, sorry.
We'll
It's
just
just
take the
pain.
first, so it's 14 in total. So the 14 that we just took away, we'll have to. All right, so
We'll take right off.
awesome. That's
Makes
great.
sense.
Anything else from you?
And yeah, no. I would like to do just regular movement, and I'm gonna. Oops, I didn't mean to move the screen. What is this square kind of like?
So it's the staircase
is
it
that down a
plateaus
little?
out, right? Like so, you walk into it and it's like floor, and then the staircase starts. So it's the bottom of the staircase.
Okay. So it's a landing, like
Yeah,
like
landing.
where. Okay, yeah, fantastic. And I can still see the creature from there.
No. If you go inside, you wouldn't be able to see the creature. No.
Okay. Yeah, I'll just stay around. All right. Good.
Okay.
Good to go. Thank you, sir.
Very good. At the end of your turn, well, let's see what I can do. Anything else that I want to do? No, that's all right. So yeah, it'll go to the next person. So we've got Shard.
All right, blind shard will make his 2 attacks with his sword.
Okay. That's a crit and a hit. Very nice. These
Total
are silvered
20.
as well.
Yes, they are.
Beautiful. That's what we like to hear.
And then my bonus action, I'm going to get back some hit points. Okay. I got back 15. That's nice. And last but not least, I will try to, I'll make my con save. I'm still blind.
Yes, you are.
Okay.
Plus.
And
Okay.
that's it.
Right. Well, what you understand after hitting it a couple of times with your silver longsword, I think you hit it with your longsword last time as well, but it's taken you around to sort of figure out exactly how this is affecting it. You haven't seen it do this move yet, but it has an action that allows it to restore or regain hit points. Now, while in a round where you have hit it with silver, it cannot use that feature. Okay?
Okay.
So basically it prevents it from restoring its own hit points.
Nice.
Cool?
Cool.
All right. And because you hit it really hard and with silver, it is going to attempt a stinger attack against you.
Okay.
That's only a 14. I keep on rolling twos. So it misses. So that's 2 out of 3 legendary actions I've done now.
I'm going to hate myself for bringing this up, but does it get advantage
Mhm.
since I'm blind?
That's a good question. You would know better than I. I think it might. Let's
No.
double check.
No.
No. Conditions. Blinded. Attacks against the creature have advantage.
Yeah, I know.
Thank you. And yes, I hit.
Of course.
Press F for respect.
F for respect. Yes, I'll give you inspiration for that. And 12 points of damage and a con save, please.
Oh boy.
You better use that inspiration.
I've only failed 4 con saves and it's my best save, so let's go for 5.
Yeah, let's go for 5. Oh,
Action point.
that's a no, but yes, that might be a good time.
Action point.
Can I use that inspiration point I just got?
Well, you would get a 9 because it's just.
Oh, okay.
But you can use your action point. You get a D6.
Okay. Come on.
That'll probably push you over. I shouldn't tell you that because it's meta, but oh yeah,
Yes!
you save that. You are not paralyzed.
Thank goodness.
Indeed, it's not a nice condition, as Brugg and Lana discovered in their dream from last session.
Brugg would tell you about it. Brugg is paralyzed.
I'll tell you about it after. So that's it for you, Sha. So, Carrie, you are poisoned and paralyzed. You can't really do anything, so I need you to make a save at the end of your turn, please. That is not enough. So you continue to be poisoned and paralyzed. You could attempt to add a d6 to that if you wish. Totally up
Remember,
to you.
we level up after the Wizard's Tower.
Yes,
so.
we do. Not matter at all.
You're dropping all the hints. Don't blame me.
It's fine. I don't mind giving you guys a heads up. No, unfortunately not. Sorry. I'm just making you waste all your stuff. No.
This is a bigger baddie later.
Yeah. Oh, this is a pretty big baddie. All right, so Kari, unfortunately, just because of the way things are, you don't get it. Calva is just going to continue to aid, I'm guessing, and Lana, you're up.
So with Lana still being blind and just kind of like hearing this weird like commotion / people like Brugg going in and then getting silent because he's paralyzed or something. It's just like, oh my gosh, what's going on? Like seriously, guys. And she will, if she pulls out her water skin and tries like splashing water in her eyes, can I get? Will that help her see again?
I will give you advantage.
Yes. Yes. Okay, come on. 1, 2. Okay, and just for safe measures, we're just gonna roll a d6 to be safe. So 23.
So what have we got? Oh yeah, you get it.
Good. Just one for next measure. She's just like, holy crackers, yeah, that thing's ugly. And hopefully next round she'll be able to throw some daggers.
Cool. Sweet.
And seeing Brugg and Kari like stiff, she's just like, oh my gosh, Dawn, I had a crazy dream about this. Except it was just me and Brugg. There were these beetle things.
You had a crazy dream. It was just you and Brugg was stiff.
Not like that!
And you bring it up now?
Okay,
Wow,
let's
we're
move
fighting a
on.
giant worm.
We're moving on. Dawn. Go ahead.
All right. We'll just You didn't hear any of that. Looking for my button. There it is. Yay!
Flaming
I'm casting
sphere.
Flame Sphere. Big
Okay,
ball of fiery death. The best
I
way to deal
need-
with this sort of problem.
Yeah, so I need a dex save. What is my dex? Let's find out. All right. My dex is apparently really good because reasons. I make it. So do I take half? Yes, I would.
Yes, half damage. And
So 4.
Dawn is specifically spawning it next to the thing and then bumping it into it.
All right.
Come on, select.
So 4. Sweet. So if I haven't said already, it is bloodied. So you guys have done pretty well, okay? And you're making progress. So is there anything else on your turn, Don?
Is the fiery stuff positioned on top of the pile of eggs?
Yeah, so you can move the sphere. If you ram sphere into a creature, that creature against the sphere's damage, and the sphere stops. Directed over barriers, ignites flammable objects, and sheds light. Okay, so what it will effectively do is it will do the damage twice, and just like you saw before, you see the fire energy coursing into the eggs, and then you see the fire energy running along the stream, basically back into the creature. So basically, it'll take the fire damage twice. So it'll take another 8 points of fire.
Burn it with fire! That's the end of Dawn's turn.
Not a problem. Well done. It's its turn. Kari's already got an egg. Is there anyone else paralyzed right now?
Brugg is.
Brugg is?
Brugg has not been inseminated yet.
Okay, well, Brugg's getting inseminated. That's the creature's turn. You're also poisoned as well, and that's the creature's turn.
Roll that attack.
I just do it. While you are paralyzed, I can just do it. You don't take any damage. You just gain a condition and an egg.
We'll cut that out later.
Yeah, exactly. So that's that. And it's your turn, Brugg. So make those saves.
Here comes save.
Well, that save. No.
Nope. How much is the DC?
It's 18.
No, never mind.
It's really high because it's a boss.
Oh no, I was debating rolling a dice for it, but I was like, oh, I would never make it. Be that full.
Technically, I don't have to tell you. But, you didn't make it, so we go past your turn and onto the lair. Is there anything else cool? Because it's been hit by silver, it can't do the healing, which it really wants to do, but it can't. Okay. The ceiling above Shard will drip sticky resin. I need a dex save from Shard, please.
Oh, of course not.
So, you are encased in rapidly hardening resin. You are restrained. You can free yourself, and another creature within 5 feet of you can free you. You must use an action to make a strength check to do so. If you... Oh, you don't know that part just yet. You feel like it's getting harder the longer, more giggity, the longer it goes. So you don't know exactly what that means, but you think it might maybe get harder to escape, or maybe something else might happen the longer it stays on you.
Okay.
So yeah, pretty much right now it's just restrained, and you can escape with a strength check, or someone else can free you with a strength check. And that is the Lair's action, and we're up to Silas.
Hmm. I'm going to cast a Ray of Sickness at level 2 on it.
All right. Go ahead.
Yeah. We're gonna do that.
Whoa.
Wow. It only hit a 4 though. Oh, +7.
All right. Let me see. Do you want to rethink that? Because Don, I don't know whether Don actually said what he found out before.
No, I'm sorry, I missed that.
Don knows that it's immune to poison, that's all.
Oh, okay.
So did you mention that, Don, or not?
I didn't mention the poison, just that it's a
Okay, so you don't know about it. So I'm going to say that that it goes off because you don't know about it, Silas.
No, that's fine.
So
yeah.
you what does it look like, your attack?
Well, you know what I mean? It's something that he didn't even really know he could do. So he's just he's standing in the back and he's looking at his crossbow and he just doesn't want to use it again. And he just starts concentrating about he felt as if he learned something new, but he just didn't know what it was yet. So he just concentrates real hard on this feeling that he has, and that's, you know, the spell comes out and it's a kind of a greenish, kind of sparkly ichor. It kind of comes out and it hits the
clearly plows into the creature and has an effect. And then you sort of see its skin. You know how the tree was like rubber? Your spell kind of does that, and then it just sort of like puffs out the spell again, and it sort of just dissipates into the air. And pretty much you're able to know that poison doesn't affect it whatsoever. And if you want to say that, you can.
I definitely voiced my opinion.
Excellent.
And then yeah, that's it.
All right.
I can't do anything else.
Lovely. Good work. Shard, you're up.
Okay.
Actually, as a bonus action, can I take a potion as a bonus action?
No.
Okay.
I don't believe so. I'll check while Shard's going, and if you can, I will let you do it. Okay.
Well, Shard's going to use his action to make a strength save to try to break out of this resin.
That's easily done. Smash.
Okay. Then I'm going to action surge and get my 2 attacks with my silver longsword. Oh, and then I'll bonus action get my offhand attack.
So
okay,
we've got 12, an 11, and a 5. Is that right? Yep. So they all hit. They're all silver. So silver doesn't do extra damage. It just prevents her healing. that's really good anyway. So I'll do. So that's 21. No, it's 23, 28. All right, 28.
Okay.
Yeah, you can see that the creature is really quite wounded by now. There's pus and ichor dripping from the wounds. And you save your con. You don't think there's much fight left in this thing, but it will attempt again to hit you with its tail, with stinger.
Okay.
Nope. It continues to roll really low. And that's it for you?
That's it.
All right. Carrie, I need a save from you, please. Let's see if we can get you back into the combat.
Fine, right?
Carrie actually is going to surrender to this thing. She's going to relax against the restraints that she's feeling herself. And she's going to suck herself inside of an inner darkness in her head. She's spending 1 sorcery point, and it's going to nullify the need to make any kind of motions for this spell. And there's going to be a loud bang coming from her body as like a minor arcane black hole is absorbed in on her form, and then it is released. Everyone has to make a Constitution save or take 2d6 thunder damage. Everybody that's touching her.
All right, that includes the creature. So what sort of save was it?
It's a Constitution save. I will cast the spell if I can find it.
Constitution. So my con is +5. Oh, I fail. Use legendary resistance and succeed.
You have successfully done more damage to the party. Wait, what is legendary resistance? What is this legendary thing you keep that you're talking of? What is this?
There are special lair actions that boss monsters have when you fight them in their lair.
Oh, that's just. Can't we like tie a rope around it and drag it outside?
It's pretty big, but yeah, it's probably possible.
Like, we could have just stayed at the top of the stairs and like dropped fire down on it.
Keep pouring oil into the room until it drowns, and then light it on fire.
All right, so we've used 1 legendary resistance.
Oh my god, that's terrifying! Why is that a thing?
How much damage do we take?
9, if you fail.
It's a very cool spell, though.
Yeah, she would just. I think it's like thunderclap, something like that. And with being a sorcerer, I have empower spell, or not empower spell. It's I forgot what it is, but it lets me subtle spell. That's what it was. It lets me cast a spell without verbal or somatic, and that spell only needs a somatic move. So I just.
Yeah, that's awesome.
You can do it without moving.
Cool.
It's my oh shit, I'm stuck, but there's people touching me. Stop touching me right now, kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's my no button.
I have
like bits
pray
of
real hard and hope for the best.
Bits of tentacle and pus and eggs just go flying against the walls.
I bet you're real popular in the bars.
All right, so that's Kari's turn. Calva, I'm guessing, just gives aid, and Lana, we're back to you.
Time to start throwing things like a dagger. Whatever, doop. 17.
17 is enough.
Awesome. 5 points damage plus 16 more for sneak attack. Pow! Die, creature! Sorry, guys, I got your back.
Wow, yeah. It is not quite dead, but that blow sort of sends it reeling a little bit. You can see it sort of coughing and wheezing. You see it's still like flailing around, trying to do
I'll just
something
look
and
at
not
Don and be like,
succeeding.
please tell me you can finish it.
All right,
Burn it.
Don, you're up. Let's see if you can. Don, you're up.
As a bonus action, I'll back up the ball of fire and ram it into the thing again.
All right, so go ahead.
For my button.
So probably.
Thought I was just looking at this ability. Where did it go? There it is.
All right, so it needs to make the saving throw again. Yeah, half damage is 3. So I take 3 twice. But no, I take 3 and 7 because the eggs can't save. So I take 10. Very close to death.
All right, and Don is going to Kari, he's been immobilized. I will restore to function. He'll move over and tap her on the shoulder, remove that condition.
Yep.
Oh, she's gonna lean and just like she's trying to puke. She's trying to get whatever just happened not happen anymore.
So you can remove the paralyze. You can't remove the poison for the time being, because the poison is being caused by the egg. And you think that if these people that have an egg in them remain that way for an extended period of time, that they will be re-paralyzed, and they won't be able to save against it. So yeah, so at least that's a good thing. But yeah, so Carrie's able to act again, which is great. We have the creature who's been struck by silver, can't heal. No one's paralyzed who hasn't been paralyzed before.
Is it the creature's turn?
Yeah.
Here's the damage for it standing in the... wrong button again.
Oh, you're probably gonna destroy it.
There it is. Damage for continuing
Oh,
to
yeah.
stand in the fireball.
All right, describe how it dies.
The creature's been rendered dry and flaky from the continuous ball of rolling inferno grinding against its backside, and it reaches a tipping point where it just ignites, and the fire becomes a self-perpetuating inferno that consumes it and starts popping the eggs like bits of corn kernels on a fire and oil until it's just a writhing charred snake in a bed of coals.
All right, as the creature dies in this gruesome fashion, the room, the room rumbles and shakes. The announcer voice sort of starts to crackle and then gets sort of more and more confident and louder until it's able to speak, as it did when you entered into the tower. So the voice echoes through the chamber as the doorway and stairs are devastated with falling boulders. And the words that issue from it are, "Now the start of the puzzle true. You must escape from this broken room. Each day outside, a minute within. Can you get out, though your minds be dim? A limited time till the planes they shift. Speed ye, or the scales of fate shall lift. You and the tower to Lamania's sky. No getting back home till a decade goes by. The first hint called upon shall be answered free. Each hint from then on shortens minutes by 3. And now the key itself is revealed. Now get thee gone from here before your fates are sealed. The liquid from the river that is coursing down the walls starts to pool into the center of the room. And more rumbling issues, and it looks like there's a stone plate that is parting in the center of the room. You're able to step away from it, and a pillar rises from the center of the room and reveals a pyramid-shaped key. I will share the device in handouts for you all to see.
Is there anyone still paralyzed?
Don't believe anyone's paralyzed.
Brugg.
Two people still have eggs inside of them.
Brugg is quite paralyzed.
Don's restoration on Brugg to remove his paralyzation as well, and then we'll work on extracting those eggs.
Alrighty.
How deep are these eggs?
Deep enough. So you need a medicine check.
I happen to have a healer's kit.
Can it be untrained, or does it have to be trained?
The check is really high, so probably trained, unless you get like a critical success untrained.
Well, I mean, you never know.
I suggest spending as many resources as you possibly can, because it's a very high check. Don's got it on his second attempt.
Give Don my healing kit as well.
Don will use his inspiration on that first check too.
Alrighty. So the 20 succeeds, okay?
I'll use the healing kit if you got it. I don't have any.
Yeah. I passed it to you.
So I'm going to let you just pass, remove both with the one success because of the time that it takes. So it's going to take 2 rounds per person to, actually no, I'll leave that success. Actually, I'll get you to roll a d6 twice for me.
Ooh. The character's going, ugh, as he's like reaching down your throat.
Hold still.
Hold
I like to
still.
think he just punches Brugg in the stomach and Brugg like hacks up an egg.
So in total, you burn 7 rounds getting these things out.
Oh, that's a minute. There goes
That's
another
still
big.
pretty good. Like that's
No, it's not a minute. It's not
No,
quite a minute.
that's not. Yeah, rounds are 6 seconds. Okay, almost a day.
Almost a day. Yeah.
Oh boy.
It's like Don says, okay, Brugg, look to the left. What's over there? Punch in the kidney.
It's eggs just flying out.
All right. So I need to keep a tracker of where we're up to with time. So let me just open this, and we'll say we've gone 7 rounds. Now that means that you other guys have 7 rounds that you can have done stuff in. So what do you want to do in those 7 rounds, guys?
Yeah, I'm like, in my head, I'm like, Lana would be like, looking at me like, get out of here. The stairs, the boulders, oh my gosh. And kind of freaking out a little bit. So,
Well, Shard will go over and examine this pyramid and has no clue whatsoever.
All right, so yeah, you should all have it in your handouts. It's the pyramid device. Hopefully you'll all see it there. And yeah, you'll just click on it. It's got a description there. It's a metallic square pyramid, 5 inches in height, width, and depth. Seems to be made of brass with tin or iron plates on each side. Runes adorn the plates. A ring is attached to the tip and can be used to carry the device. A dial and a pressable button is on the underside, and strange colored wires and welds can be seen under the brass outer shell.
Shard will. He doesn't expect it to do anything, but he'll touch the rune that kind of looks like a doorway.
All right.
And then
It
he'll
will
look at the.
Yeah, go ahead.
Then he will look at the dial that's in the bottom to see if there's any kind of notches or anything that, like settings or something.
It's a button rather than a dial.
Oh, okay.
So
Push the button.
when you press on the door-shaped object, the door-shaped rune, and you push the button, I'm just looking at my notes here. Okay. It's like an error sound, right, that issues from the device, and then an automated voice kind of says, returning you to default position, and then the entire party is teleported back to the foyer out of this room.
We all are?
Okay.
You think that by pressing the button with this, with the setting that you had, caused some sort of error. Maybe it couldn't send you to the place that that sigil represented. For whatever reason, you don't understand why right now.
At least we're not trapped in the basement.
That is correct. So that's part of those 7 rounds. So I'm not going to take another round off you because you did it while you were doing that. And so you've been teleported back here.
Okay.
To the foyer.
Does anybody else want to try one, or?
Well,
What about that locked door?
If anyone knows Dwarvish, these runes look strangely familiar.
I think I'm right.
Does anyone know Dwarvish?
Lana does not.
Dawn has a helm of comprehend language. Let me.
Is it on?
Check on that. Yeah. Let's see. I think it might be only spoken languages though.
Shard knows giant, which is based on the Dwarven script, but that doesn't necessarily mean anything.
Yeah, it's based on the script, but the symbols for each word are different and letter, I believe. But because you know giant, I guess I can give you advantage to trying to figure out what it is. It'd be an investigate check.
Oh, yeah. The helm does work on written languages, but you have to be touching the surface on which the words are written.
Oh yeah, that's easy. You can do
so
that.
Don will just take off the circlet partway through the process, just like, here, wear it. You turn it on base. That's flaming.
Okay.
I'm busy right now. I figured it out.
Yeah. So the capital T. One second. The capital T, it stands for the letter B in Dwarvish. So it's the letter B, right? The C-looking one, which is one next to it, that stands for the letter R in Dwarvish. The door that Shard just pressed, that stands for Y, and the sort of backwards lowercase t. That one, backwards lowercase t, just finding it, stands for W. So you've got W, Y, B, and R. At this point, because you've identified what letters they stand for, Adela will gasp and she'll say, I think I know what this means. And she'll say, I've heard stories of wizards before, and this just seems to make sense to me. I think that, and there was a word that announcer guy spoke just before, I think it was, or maybe it was that that skeleton that you've got, said pockets. What I think is that this wizard has created this tower using pocket dimensions, and that's what that blank space was. It was just a space that was existing on one pocket dimension, but not on this one. And I think that each of those symbols represents a different pocket dimension. One is reality, and the other three are just other dimensions. And they've got these letters. I don't know what they could stand for, but you see that this one is glowing, or is a little bit alight. And she'll point to the one that's a W. Maybe that stands for white, because the light is really white here. It's like pure and strange and magical. So maybe it stands for white. And if it stands for white, maybe the other letters stand for colors too. And she'll think for a second and she'll go, B, well, that could stand for blue. R, I guess that could stand for red. And Y, that would be yellow. They're the primary colors. Maybe they stand for those.
But you don't know which one takes us out of here.
I don't.
No, the exit's right over there. And I point towards.
I don't think any of them will. I don't know what will take us out of here. All I know is that maybe the different pocket dimensions will have different rooms in them, and maybe that's what the map means. And she'll look at the map and she'll say, well, that room up there, it says welcome room, but it also says summoning room. So maybe in one of those dimensions, it's also a summoning room as instead of a welcome room.
But what about when I made it turn around? I think that was the summoning room.
She says, yeah, it could be. I mean, I'm not sure, but
I think you're onto something though, Adela. I think you are.
all right.
Well, I'll tell you what happened when you first used this?
So it made an error sound and it teleported us to this room.
Error sound.
Yeah.
Well, in which button did you push?
The one that looks like a doorway.
Looks like a doorway.
That's
So
the one that's for Y, which she has said maybe stands for yellow.
Right. Now, here, let me try. And I'll touch it.
Okay.
And I'm gonna press the doorway again and press Y.
Okay.
I mean, the one for and then press it. Does that take us back to where that?
Let me have a look.
Tree and stuff was.
Okay. So, okay, so you fade from where you are, and you enter into like the same or similar blank space to what you saw in the doorway just before, and then it sort of gives an error message, and it says taking you back to default room. So you think that where there isn't a room in the dimension that you're pressing, it'll sort of fade you in there. It takes a round, right, away from you in time. But if there isn't a room in that alternate dimension, it takes you back to the default room.
Okay. Okay. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. That makes sense. So, interesting. Every time I have that map up.
So she's done that. I think that that's all can be in the 7 rounds. Actually, no, because you pressed it, so it'll be after the 7 rounds. So it'll take a round to find that out. So we're up to 8 rounds gone. Okay.
Does anybody have any ideas other than we just try the other 3 and see what happens?
So Adela will say, well, only some of the rooms are labeled with multiple things, multiple names.
Right. I really think we should go upstairs to the next level, because that level has different rooms for every one of their rooms. I think we should try that. Looks like a very
Makes
active
sense.
and a very active level of the compound.
Yeah. So to answer your question, Mary, from now on until the end of the session or until the end of the tower, you are on time crunch. So, like, I'm going to give you free actions to speak, but if it's longer than, say, 2 sentences worth of speaking from each person, then I'll take off a round. Like, so you're on a limited talking schedule, but I'm not going to be a complete dick and take them completely away from you just because you're trying to figure out what to say. Okay, so we'll be fair, but at the same time, yes, you are on a time limit.
Okay. And Lana would have asked, just kind of like seeing them fiddling with the pyramid device, like, might we have to press the buttons in a certain order?
Well, that's a possible solution. But if it's how she says, like if each dimension is a different color, then pressing them in a certain order isn't going to do anything. It'll be just be whatever you press last and then press the button will be where you go, because every time you press one, it replaces the glow to the one that you've most recently pressed away from the one that you pressed earlier. So only one is glowing at a time.
Okay.
Right. So we need to find the stairs on this level, guys. So we need to find.
Well, it should be right over there according to the map.
Yeah, so the stairs, you imagine, are where that blank space was, what Silas found earlier. But you're not sure which dimension to go to get to those stairs.
Okay.
All right. Well, I'm gonna go open the door now to find out if they're there right now. If we're lucky.
So this is the white dimension, and I'll tell you when we're on a different one, but we're at default right now. So we're in white, you open the door, and there's blank space.
Blank space, okay. So I go and I
since
go,
this is backwards.
Yep. Backwards.
Shard will hit the one that looks like touch the one that looks like a letter T and then push the button on the bottom.
The letter T?
Yes.
Sure. So that one is the blue level. Let me check that one. All right. So the blue level is blank space, so we're up to 9 rounds. You'll go just cycle through each one. So blue is no. Oh, do we want to go to red or yellow next?
Well, what happened when we went to blue?
Yeah. We went
So
to
the stairs that you're trying to look for aren't on blue.
Okay, we'll try yellow next.
Okay, they are on yellow. So we're up to 10 rounds. You are able to ascend the stairs. Okay, so that will take us here. I'm just looking at my notes. Okay, we ascend the stairs.
And what level is that on? I mean, what color?
Yellow.
We are on yellow,
There's blue.
and the stairs exist on this dimension.
Okay.
They ascend. Okay.
Yeah, they should go up to that level.
All right. Yeah, so cool. It's really good. We ascend,
Okay, and
there's nothing
when we
there.
come up the stairs,
I'm just looking for where it
we
is.
come up the corridor. I'm assuming that we have to go around the corridor to go to the next area.
Yeah, sorry, I'm just, yes. So you come to the top of the stairs and there's another door and you're able to open it and it opens onto blank space because wizards are dicks.
Oh,
Hit
wonderful.
red and hit the button.
This is a little more confusing than I thought it might be. That's okay. I didn't know until we played it through. All right. So what I might do, what's a way that we can make this a little bit less annoying? I'm going to give Steve the ability to tell us which button to press when we get to a blank space and we want to see a room there, okay? He's not going to necessarily know which version of the room, but he'll know that there's not blank space there, just to make it not so quite so annoying. Is that okay with everyone?
Okay.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Cool. Just because I don't like, because that's just going to get really frustrating, which is fine. All right, so it takes us another round. And he tells us that that we need to press blue, and that'll take us to the corridor, which is at the top of those stairs. Okay, so we press blue, and we are able to see the corridor. I will take us there now. Our characters. 1 second while I copy everyone over to there. So now each dimension is a different map. Okay, so I'll just like be switching you back and forth depending on which map we're on. But in game, it'll only ever be the time that I say. So what a time we take outside of game is meaningless. All right, so I'm going to reveal that area now, and I'm going to change the map so that we can see it. For us, we're over on blue, change, and we're over here. So you can see that we've exited this door here, and there's a corridor that goes around. Now, that's number 7 on blue. I need to get to my notes for that. yellow. 1 second, sorry. White. All the fun and games with Wizard's Towers. Blue, 7. Okay, so this is a corridor or hall. You find a lead pipe inside of the corridor. There's nothing really else of note.
Mr. Green did it in the study.
So the lead pipe's just like laying on the floor, or is it against a wall?
It's yeah, it's like stood up against the wall. Actually, what I'm going to say is, you know those fire axes that have the handles in walls and stuff? It's like that. It's got handles that are holding it up, and it's just like on the wall, like a fire axe would be.
Shard will take it for the time being.
Cool.
We may need it for something.
All right, you'll go to the end of the corridor, and you'll open into blank space, and our little friend will tell us that we need to, he'll say the white dimension has the next room in it. If we go back there.
Well, look, Steve.
Okay.
Instead of going through every room in this tower, we just want to get out of here. So do you have any idea of like how to get us to an exit?
He scratches his head and he says, I don't right know. The wizard never told me exactly, but I think it has to do with the archway. He says, maybe if we found the other fish, we'd be able to find a way to get through. But I don't know where the fish could be. And he scratches his head and he says, where in a wizard's tower would fish be? And he shows you the map and is asking you the question.
Brugg also needs to get to the library.
So you can look through the map and see all of the rooms there, and you can make a guess as to where the fish might be. And then try and get to that room.
Now, a fish could be in any one of these rooms under the right circumstances. I mean, it could be in the dining room, or the kitchen, or the mortuary if it's dead and being fed to somebody. Mr. Mittens could be a fish. It could be in the treasure vault. It could be in the washroom if it's in water.
I guess Don did find the one on the wall.
I think.
Well, unfortunately, Steve only knows so much.
Yeah.
So he says, if you want a specific, I'm gonna drop his accent a little bit. If you want a specific room, we can get to that location and try. But other than maybe finding other fish, he doesn't really.
What kind of fish are you looking for, Steve?
Well, he says, what kind of fish have you got?
We got a whitefish.
Don, can you just make fish?
No, I only make berries.
So we've got a white fish, but we need some other kind of fish.
Seems that way, yeah. Like there are 2 more indentations in addition to the one that the white one was stuck in before.
Okay.
And it makes sense to you, like if there's like 4 colors that this wizard keeps using, white, blue, yellow, red, and yellow, yellow, that maybe there are 4 different colored fish and only 3 of them are used to open the archway.
Yeah, maybe. Now, where Where do we find that original fish?
It was in the
Oh,
archway already. It was stuck into the indentation already.
Okay.
Don just removed it from the indentation
And used it
Okay.
like an axe.
and used it like an axe to chop down the tree.
Yes. Wonderful. Well,
So I'm going to dock some time off you in a second while you're trying to figure it out. So does anyone, I'll go to 12 rounds gone. Does anyone have a suggestion as to where we might go, or what you can roll checks to maybe try and discern more about this wizard or something?
Yeah, Brugg has asked Steve if he can bring us to the library.
So Steve will look at the map and see where it says that the library is, and he's able to discern how to get there. So he says that it's going to take two jumps to get to the library, and he says that that the library exists on the white and the blue level, and the blue dimension. He says, which one do you want?
Oh, Brugg is uncertain. This is kind of beyond
wait,
Brugg's
we are.
expertise.
Well, Brugg, we already have the white one, so why don't we go for where the blue one is? Maybe we need a blue fish.
But we haven't been to the white one.
We haven't been to the library in the white level.
Not yet, no. So it means that we wouldn't have to screw around, and you can see what the white level has, and then go to the blue level from there, because it's the same room, so it's only a single jump. Either way, it doesn't matter. You just tell me if you want the white or the blue, and I'll take you there.
I'll go for blue. You know, we have to go to both anyways. Okay. Or maybe.
Sure.
It's a 50-50 shot.
All right, so let's do it. We'll go to the blue.
I've got like 3 objectives that I have to get done here.
Okay. So I'll highlight that for us. Okay, and move our characters over there. I'll highlight a little bit more so that you guys can easily reveal, easily get to that. So there we go. Now make sure that you're all seeing that. Looks like it, yes. Okay. Right, so I'll go to the notes for that, and we've taken 2 jumps to get to there. Oh. So, library on the blue level. Blue dimension. Library. You enter a large cornered room in 2 sections of 6 bookcases each. Each bookcase is 7 feet long on an angle from the wall as to allow passage through the middle. I've actually drawn it on the other one, but I haven't drawn it on this one, so I'll quickly just show you. It's kind of like this. So that it allows you to get through the middle, but they're straight instead of curved. So there's 6 there, and there's 6 here. Okay, like that. They're 7 feet long. They're 10 feet tall, and they're all full of books and scrolls. There's a reading corner, and that's complete with small comfy chairs and coffee table. There is also a lectern facing into the room on the corner's edge. Looks to be holding an open book, though you can only see the top of the pages from here. A distinct blue light illuminates the room.
Thinking long, I would probably start looking around the books and whatnot. She might even ask Brugg, like, what book are you looking for in particular?
Didn't have it recorded in my notes.
One with a fish in it.
But Matt, the one I'm looking for Lawrence Pennyfather. That he said that was stolen. His work was plagiarized essentially by this wizard.
Yep. I don't remember either. It's probably in my notes somewhere, but that's okay. So, make a
Investigation.
Oh, I'm good
investigation
at
or
those.
perception is fine.
It's gonna be equally bad.
All right. So I'm gonna say
There it is.
all right.
Damn it.
I'm
So
quite
if
good
you
at investigation.
choose,
I have terrible.
it's just going to take 2 rounds to find it, right? Okay.
Gotcha.
Because of your check. So 2 rounds. So we're up to 16. Yeah. So you find it, and it all seems well. Like you open it up, seems to have writing in it. It is like. It does, like the writing looks a bit odd, like grayish or not quite
Old?
solid.
Huh.
Maybe like it's glowing a little bit.
Brugg attempts to read it. I don't know. It's glowing writing in a wizard's tower. What was I expecting?
Yeah, I mean, there's just like wizard's notes and stuff. You probably don't understand half of it, but whatever it was
barely
about,
understands normal books.
you can obviously take it back to Lawrence. It's the correct book.
Yep, Brugg pockets it. Brugg will, I guess, if there's any other interesting looking tidbits.
Yeah,
But
so
I guess there is
also
this open book in the corner.
there certainly is. If you go over and have a look at that book, and I'll get to Don in a second. If you go over and have a look at that book, there's actually nothing written on it as far as you can see. You flick through the pages and there's nothing there. It's like a blank open book.
Yeah, I guess
until
point out to the rest of them.
Until you get to like the final page of that book, and there's actually something written on the final page.
I'm certain I'll regret it. Brugg reads that thingy.
All right. It says, my new species I have named, and it gives a name, and I'm going to copy and paste it. Euronymous botanicus. It is a wonderful plant. And I've written about it in the final chapter of Indoor Plant Species and How to Care for Them. It'll take its place in the observatory, to be in the open air and where it belongs, instead of the stuffy tower. I'll plant it there, and it will be great.
If there was ever a hook to be laid, Brugg will go find this. I assume they're marked by orders. Gonna go grab the indoor thingy and be like, "Hey, Don. So there's a nifty plant up in the observatory.
So
you like plants, right?"
So
I wonder if this will come with the knoll.
We'll go on Don's investigation check. So Don, with your investigation check, what were you looking for?
I was assisting Lana and Brugg with what they were looking for. But
Right,
I guess in more of a general sense, I was looking for a fish.
As Brugg goes through the book, and like starts muttering about there not being any writing there until he gets to the last page. You're sort of looking through the rest of the bookshelves, and there's all these interesting books, but none of them like stand out to you. And then Brugg like calls out and he says, "Oh, find the indoor plant species and how to care for them." And you start looking for it, and it takes you. I'm gonna dock you another 2 rounds, but you'll find indoor plant species and how to care for them. And Brugg will be able to tell you to look at the last chapter to see whether there's anything interesting in there. So we're down to...
Forget this crap book I found over here about this wizard named Harry. I'm going to check out this plant book. I thought it was about plants at first because it was Harry Potter, but...
Yeah.
Plant pot.
Harry the Potter.
All right, so you'll open the book to the final chapter, and it's got a big title, Euronymous Botanicus, and it has various things about how to maintain the plant and how to like cut the plant back if it grows too much, that sort of thing. Other than generic like looking after things, there's nothing that really catches your eye, but you do notice that the way to like cut it back is a little bit more involved than perhaps many other plants that you've seen. It's got big bold writing, like he's gone over it a couple of times, and it says, "Do not attempt to burn or to cut." And it says you must combine purple flowers and orange roots into a powder and apply that to the potted plant, at which time it will retract.
Right.
It seemed interesting to you, not because of the words, but because it was like written over several times, like "do not use fire, do not cut back."
Oops.
I don't know. We went down, so we were like in the underground garden.
Yeah. So you don't think Euronymous
found this one.
Botanicus is that tree, but perhaps he planted a very similar tree down there. And if you flick through the rest of the book, you'll probably find an entry for that other tree. But it's...
In case of
And I'll
evil
say
tree sucking the life out of the surrounding garden, use a fish.
Yeah. Pretty much. Yeah. Wizards are good, like, keeping thorough notes on how to deal with stuff if things go wrong. So that's what you find. Anything else?
Nothing for me. Didn't find a fish.
Yeah, no, there wasn't any fish in here. And no hints in the books as to any fish. If you are interested in any topics, there's probably a book here about that topic, and you can probably go and find it, but it's going to kill some time. Each time you're going to have to roll for it.
I was just that, or how to, I don't know, get over your impulse to kill things.
Well, that would probably be under medications if it's under anything. So you'd have to find a book about medications. Do you want to look for a book on medications while the others are looking?
Yeah, I think she like start off trying to help Brugg, but then like as she's starting to read some stuff, she might be like, "Wait a minute," and like
so make either a perception or investigation check. This is not going to take up any more time unless you roll really, really low.
11.
So that's 6. It will take another 2 rounds.
Hey, Lana, we're going. Lana, what?
But you will find a book.
Wow.
Whoa, what are you looking for, Kari? Let me
looking-
answer Lana first.
Go ahead.
Just 2 seconds. Let me answer Lana. So Lana, you do find a book about curing. What's the potion again? Like resurrection at any cost.
Revive at all costs.
Side effects. Yeah, revive at any cost. Side effects. It gives an experimental cure, and it's basically involves the use of dragon liver to distill the poison of the. So you have to take blood from the person, distill it through a dragon's liver, and then combine it into an alchemical concoction that the person then drinks.
This is what she's like reading about. It's like they start walking off into other rooms. Like, okay, we're gonna go to check this out. Uh-huh.
All right, Carrie, what are you looking for with your natural 20?
And this is a magical library, right? Just to make sure I'm
Yes.
understanding it. I'm looking for my family tree book for the Fair family. I want
Sure.
the entire bloodline from the
All
very
right,
first.
you find it. It doesn't take
Sure,
any more
pick it up.
time.
Pockets it.
Yep, it's yours. Anything else before we go somewhere else?
Do you guys know where we
Yeah.
can find dragon liver? As they're walking to the next place.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Silas would be looking for a book that would have to do with anything with blade singing, anything with anything like that.
All right, roll for it.
Yeah. And what do I have to roll?
Investigation or perception.
Investigation is my jam.
If you roll above a 15, it doesn't take you any more time. Yep, so it doesn't take you any more time than what's already passed. Okay? So you find it while the others are looking for their own things. And I'm guessing you're not going to try and read it now. You just pocket it as well.
Yeah, just the only
Like
thing
it'll
he-
take time, that's all.
Right. He would just look at the table of contents, see if there's anything about twin dragon, anything like that in there.
There's not a title that says anything about twin dragons, but there is a title about blade songs in dragonshards.
Okay. All right. Yeah. He takes it along with
Stuck in a wizard's tower. Well, yes, she technically can look, but it will take more time because you're slower than her. But you can make another check. Whoa, that's gonna it's gonna take you a while. I'm gonna dock you 5 rounds for that.
What are you doing, Lana?
Lana's like dallying. She's looking through all these
I found
books.
a book on like curing myself, and you found a book on this, and you found. What if we could find a book that helps us? And she's hopping along. Get out of here!
You find a book. You find a book that's like neon yellow, right? The cover is like neon yellow, and it says "Escaping Wizards' Towers for Idiots."
Hey! I found it! Starts coming through. Where are we headed to next, guys? Oh, look, it has a map in here, too. You look at
Yeah.
that. Let's see if there's
So
an
basically, it's this stupid book that just gives you like the stupidest like things of like if you're looking for passwords, they're usually found in wizards' journals, and like if you're looking for and it just gives you stupid like really obvious hints as to how to do things. Nothing really that you can use very well, but basically what it'll do if we come across something that you're especially like unsure of, when you roll for a check, I'll give you advantage on that check while you're in the wizard's tower and
Okay.
have this book.
Nice.
Lana's hugging 2 books to her. Actually, no, she's storing them in her pack.
Yeah,
All
put 'em in
right.
your
So
pack.
you
Guys,
basically
I have this
spent.
goal, by the way, if we want to like take more books. Just
You
say.
spent 5
I
rounds
think we're
to
good.
get advantage on knowledge checks while in this place, basically. I'd say that's worth it.
I
Yeah.
like it.
All right. Anything else? You guys have got a little bit of time because there's 5 rounds while Lana's cycling through stuff to do anything else you want to do while in here.
I would like to just read a little bit of the book if there's anything about the dragon shards.
Yeah, like there's this tale about blade singing and storing the knowledge, ancient, like when the art was first created, that dragon shards were located. They would seal away the more powerful blade songs into dragon shards to prevent evil things from being able to get to them. That sort of stuff, you know. And it'll have like an annotation of other uses of dragon shards. And there's a list of other things that dragon shards are used for.
How many rounds do we have?
5 while Lana's looking for this current book.
Yes, Brugg will spend this time looking for book on axe.
All right, roll for it.
Best to
Perception or
go prepared.
investigation. As long as you roll above 15, no more time passes.
Brugg will abandon that when Lana finishes up her stuff then.
Okay.
Not gonna waste time.
Sure. All right. Actually, the DC would be 10 because it's dropped by 5 for Lana. So. Yeah. So yeah, is that it then? Where do we want to go next in that case?
Onward.
So what is it? We started at 11, so it's been 3.5 hours now.
Mhm.
Do we want to keep going for a little bit? Or do we want to stop and resume in the library next time? I'm fine either way.
I'll go with the majority, but I do technically have a game after this. I double booked.
How dare you?
I know, right? But they know that I love this game more, so I was like, oh, this comes first, guys.
I see.
I'm definitely interested in not rushing it for role-playing purposes, but
So what time is your other
keeping
game?
it going next to it.
8:30, but so like in 6 minutes, but
So we could do another room if you guys want, or we can stop here if you guys want. Like it's totally up to you guys. Like I don't want to.
Yeah, but I agree with Christina. I don't want to rush anything. You know what I mean? So
All right. So we will do the second half of the Wizard's Tower next time. Hopefully everyone can make it next time again.
should be
Hopefully you enjoyed this session and you guys are doing well. You're getting through it, and there's still a little bit to go. And hopefully we can solve the problem before the time runs out.
we're stuck.
So we'll chat about how it went for a few minutes after session. But for anyone watching, hope that you enjoyed the session, and we'll be back in 2 weeks' time, hopefully, as long as enough people can make it, with part 2, which will be session 10. And if we get through the Wizard's Tower, it will be our final session for this chapter. Otherwise, depending on how long that takes, we hope to get through it next time. Just see how we go. So I've been Matt Nahat, and these have been my players. Thank you to each and every one of you for coming and for playing and for being wonderful. You're all great. And we'll see you in a couple of weeks. So bye for now.
Bye.